Welcome, Portia. Welcome, 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 TikTok family. Welcome, 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 YouTube family. I'll try not to keep you long. Uh, I wanted to cover angels. We're going to be covering angels today. Where they come from? Where do they come from? Because we know we kind of talked about it when we talked about the twin flames a little bit, and I told you how all of them came from the Archaea. That's where that twin flame originated from. But now in our community, we're over there, we're covering angels right now. Hi, Tina. Hi, beloved. We're covering angels right now. And if you're in our ritual membership, you know that's the first thing we do. And you probably saw me post that several times, and you probably said, "Oh, Miss Penny, you and these angels." Yes, me and these angels. Okay, because I know how beneficial they are and how they're going to shift your consciousness into a high vibration. There's a lot of healing going on there. Um, and I just want to break that down because we're covering it again. And I want to look over this juicy book that I have over there for you too. And that YouTube link, there is a book in there. I advise you to get that book. Look in that book. That book, that's the first book the angels presented to me when I first started working with them. And that book has been, uh, I mean, that book is over 20 years old. And I still go back to it. I mean, anything that you want to know about angels or working with angels is in that book. Very good reference book, has good material in it. Okay. Miss Penny, I'm about to go to sleep. I know, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You come back and watch it later. This is a last minute thing because I saw that book over there. I was like, I really want them to understand this and comprehend what's going on. Why am I posting this again? And we've covered this before. We have covered this before, but it's so important. I just don't want you to miss it. Okay, because again, it really helped me, and I know it can help you, and it's helped so many people. So I don't want you to miss out on this beautiful vibrational energy and how it works. I really want you to comprehend how it works, because this is very important. And then decolonizing what you think as an angel as well, because you really got to open your mind when you start to understand what is an angel and not let religion, because these beings are not religious. Okay, so when I see these religious people trying to own spirits, or these high vibrational energies, you can't own that. That's a frequency. You either can access it or you cannot. It's that simple. You either can access that consciousness, that frequency, that intelligence, or you cannot. You can't own it. Okay, you may have signature and calls to reach that frequency quicker, but you don't own it. Okay, so that's important. I have to watch this live. This is important. Okay, that homeschooler. Okay. So it's important for you to understand what an angel is and then look at it from the perspective of your ancestors. And that book, the book that I'm referring to, and I'm going to give you guys the name of that book because our community gets it already. But I think I like her this book. It is called Silver, it's by Silver Raven Wolf, Angels, Companions in Magic. And I can remember when I first got this book, I was in Hot Springs, Arkansas. There was a bookstore there called the Golden Leaves. I never forget it. And I remember walking in that bookstore and I asked my spirit guys, I said, I wonder which book I should get this time. And I kid you not, this book floated off the shelf and landed right in front of me, and I picked it up and bought it. I was not afraid. Okay. I was not afraid. And like I told you guys, I'm a scary person. But when you start working with this energy and the vibrations and frequency, when you come in contact with them, they automatically start uplifting your mood. They start shifting your consciousness. It is an unbelievable thing when you see your mind shift into a higher consciousness. It is a mystical experience. So again, and the more you work with the energy, the more frequent you are at your rituals and trying to contact them and reach into those higher intellectual frequencies, you'll start that in again, it has a subtle effect on your energy. You're gonna see a difference in your thought pattern. I promise you, you're gonna see a difference in your thought pattern. You're gonna be, uh, it'll be more easier for you to maintain positive thoughts and feelings. You'll be able to hold them much longer. Hi, Kasia. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Kasia. So you'll be able to hold those feelings, and that's important in the healing. And you will see it would accelerate your healing. Okay, these are the subtle energies. You'll start noticing notice the difference in yourself. And see, now they got a lot of whole bunch of crap frequencies over there, but now we need to be focusing on these higher intelligent, again, vibrationals and frequencies. Okay, and so I wanted to dive in it today and how our ancestors saw these frequencies. Okay, before religion, ancient mystics saw archangels as guardians of elemental cosmic forces. So we can look at this across the board too, because you will see our ancestors, they're talking about these angelic beings called the Orishas. Then you have here too, in Western civilization, they're calling them archangels. We already told you that they come from older civilizations, which was the Archaea. And I've already told you the first archangel that you saw was who? It was Aset Isis in Egypt. So you're seeing the Western civilization combine all these theories, these sayings that our ancestors had already discovered that there were higher, again, natural forces and cosmic beings in the universe and in our on Earth as well. So they have already acknowledged that. So you have to remember too, there you're having Western civilization come in and recognize these energies as well. It is nothing new. This concept of angels is very old concept before it got into the Western theology. Hi, how you doing, Ethereal Strength? Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Are you understanding me? Because I want to break down how they are. Some of these religions or patriarchs have made angels look like, and probably making you think that they are connected to religion, but they are absolutely not. I have to tell people this about some of the Orisha as well. You can't own it, you know. Only way I see you owning the spirit is that's the one you made for you. But the energy and frequency and signatures are already out there. Okay, so you can, if that spirit reaches out to you, that energy frequency reach out to you, and you find yourself there, that's where you're at. Okay. Before there were archangels like Michael, Gabriel, many cultures describe sky enforcers, upheld universal balance. So our ancestors already talked about these sky gods. They had already talked about these sky beings. They had already talked about this. They had talked about star beings too, star ancestors. They had already talked about these energies in the ethers. Okay. And you may think that it is a being they because in Western civilization they're describing them as a being, but my concept, the way I describe, because they could, you're talking about something that's built into the atmosphere, that is built into, these are higher intelligences. Again, like I said, thoughts are things, they are higher thought forms on higher frequencies. When you start thinking on a higher frequency or something happy, you will automatically start attracting them. When you start calling out to them, again, that thought forms become closer to you. And what does it do? What does it do? Because it's a higher intelligence. Again, it start raising your thoughts and the way you think and your frequency and your mood. I'm breaking it down to you as simple as I can. Is, have I lost anyone? Because thoughts are things. This is what we're dealing with when we're dealing with the mind. Everything is all consciousness. You are nothing but a spirit of consciousness. Have I lost anyone? Have I lost anyone? Okay. Okay. I want to make sure I haven't lost anyone. So again, and especially if you're dealing with depression, because I was dealing with depression too, beloved. I was dealing with all that stuff. Okay. But when I again start staying consistent, going to my table, because it in our nifty book that you're getting over there, it's going to tell you the time. You know, you need to go to your table and talk to this angel, what this angel likes, what should be on your altar, what should be on your table. Because again, we're trying to attract this energy to us. You're getting sigils, and then in a minute, we'll be diving into path working where I can take you through visual meditations, or we're going to talk about visual meditations that can help you tap into this, again, this angelic realm. That's where we need to be going. That's where all the medicine is. And that's where you're more likely you're going to come in contact uh, with these high vibrational ancestors. You'll see that happen too. Okay, I think that's so important. Okay, the original duty of these angels, because you'll see this now. You're seeing it now, but they're calling them by different names. There were forces of light and vibration, manage cosmic order, protect the boundaries between worlds, guiding human destiny, govern elements and natural law. So now over there, I'm showing you how to work with elementals through the archangels. I have taught you, you have information over there how to access planetary intelligence again through the archangels that can become a bridge for you and keep you safe where tapping into those high vibrational energies or those other energies. Have I lost anyone yet? This is why we go through the again archangels. They have already been again assessed and built and programmed to do their job or their attributes. So they're going to be easier for you to work with. Now, some people, I can say this an exception. If you cannot reach high vibration, certain high vibrations, some archangels you will not be able to contact. That is perfectly normal. That is perfectly normal. You'll have to go on, but we always recommend that you work with your birth angel because we're already aligned with an angelic frequency through our astrological chart. So I try to get you to work with the archangel through your zodiac sign, through your birth sign, since you already have that energy signature. Am I losing? Because this is a science. I'm breaking down the science to you. You're gonna hear this in your book as well. I'm not making this up. Okay, I wouldn't come here and make this up. Okay, a lot of you have done your birth. I have done your chart, and a lot of you resonate with it. Okay, so I'm not making this up. You have your elements, and I've given you all that in your birth chart. And a lot of you see, you're looked at that chart and you said, wow, wait a minute, Miss Penny. Best to work with who is willing to work with you. That is good. Yes. Because if you find that the archangel don't show up, um, again, you go on to the next one, but you have the most success working with the angel that you were already born on that frequency. I kind of show you that. I'm not the only one saying that. I show you in your material as well. And if you're consistent with that, what's going to happen? Because I'm telling you, I've experienced this, and it's too many other people have experienced it. They're either you're going to start feeling a presence or a different in your thinking. Your thinking is going to be, you're going to feel an elevation. There's going to be a mood shift. Okay. You're going to see some shifting happen. I have gone over my chart and over and still have no clue where to start. Have you asked your ancestors where you should start? Have you asked your intuition where you should start? It's a new moon coming up. Maybe I would start with the moon, doing some energetic cleaning. That's what I would start. But if you're in our community, then you have more support. Okay, so we try to get you again, working with working with the archangel over your birth sign. Okay, if you have our book there in our community, the chart you gave me resonated. I have to work to do. Yeah, you do. You see how much work you have to do, how much self-care you have to do, how much focus you have to do on yourself. This is about you. This is about self-mastery. The magic is if the inner world is not in alignment with what you want to see, you're not going to see it manifest on the outside. The inner world has to be built on the inside in order for you to see it on the outside. If the inside don't match the outside, then you're not going to see it. That's what we're doing here. A lot of people want to go into right into thinking that they can get riches and all this stuff from these spirits. No, that's not what you're needing here. That's not what we're needing here. We're needing more self mastery to accomplish those things, because that's the issue there. Because we really our own issue when it comes to our own success or the changes or shifts we want to see in our life. It's not about getting them to do it. It's about accessing all these attributes within yourself to master so you can do it. And see, they know the difference. That's why you can't go in here abusing these type of energies. If you're not coming in here with a sincere heart and really to navigate your destiny, your path, your purpose, a lot of these energies are not going to be vibing with you like this. This is the root work side. Now, I don't know what you're going to do over there in conjure. I don't know what's going to happen in the conjure is a different thing, but we're talking about root work here and getting you in alignment with your ancestors and these high frequencies. I've never heard about angels the way you explain it. I need all the help I can get. Okay? These are energies. Now, can they manifest themselves uh through people? Can they manifest themselves in true human form? Yes, they absolutely can. But what I've seen too, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's something to. I have worked with angels, and that have felt like I was in a twilight zone with them. They take you into another. I can't even explain it without getting overwhelmed by it. I have seen them jump through people and talk through people. Do the people realize that the angels is over them like that and talking through them? I don't know, but I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay, I've seen them. I know I was in contact with the angel where they did a whole human manifestation, and then as fast as they came, they left. This is real. Okay, I've been in near, I was in a car accident and I thought I was the only one who saw this white light around the car. I didn't think that, I saw it, but when we got out the car, my daughter, uh, she was like, "Mama, why was that white light around the car?" I said, "You saw it too?" She said, "Mama, I saw it too. I saw it slowed down the car. It slowed down the impact, so the wreck wasn't as bad as it was supposed to be." This is real. Okay? These angels are real. Now, I don't care how these other people, they have so many ways they can contact you, but they seem to only manifest themselves in dire streams of distress. If you're in high distress, you think you alone, they will pop up every time. That's been my experience. I've seen it with my own eyes. And you'll be right there. You in their presence because of the way they're making you feel. because you'd be so at peace when they're interacting with you. And a part of your mind be want you know that they're angels, but a part of your mind won't. You're not even concerned with that. You won't even ask. La la. You won't even ask. You just know from a shot. You don't have to ask because you know. I don't know. It's just a feeling to come over. You will know. Okay. You will know. But they seem to only manifest like that in dire. If you are really in distress, they are there. They'll also start repeating things. When you're in contact with the angel, when it keeps repeating all these high vibrational affirmations and inspiration in your head. Or one day you got all these ideas just start coming in your mind. You don't know where they coming from. This is how you experience them. When you have made contact. If you consistent and keep on, they'll start coming up in your dreams. Angels will start coming up in your dreams. Okay, this is real. This is why I tell you to be consistent. If you haven't had any success with your ritual, the first thing, if they have not been contacting you, this is the initiation process. I don't care what nobody else is telling you. I'm advancing you. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm advancing you. Now, if you don't want none of this, don't come over here because I'm going to advance you. You say you want to do this, I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so if many of you come tell me that no, Miss Penny, I've been doing this, and first thing I'm saying, how consistent are you? How often you going to the altar? What time you going there? What's the name of the angel you working with? Okay, what did you putting out there for it? What's on that table? What are you doing at that table? What you trying to do? What's your intentions? They said intentions matter too, because you trying to do some raggedy stuff with some of them, and you ain't right, and you raggedy and stuff. They're not gonna do that with you. People have tried and miserably failed. Okay, this is about your spiritual evolution, getting you in alignment, raising your vibration, and healing you, helping you. This ain't about you about no money, because I'm telling you, them spirits don't care about nothing like that. If that's what you're getting in this for, you don't get far. It's about self mastery, tapping into your own psychic and spiritual abilities, accessing your gifts, evolving you. That's what they're interested in doing with you. So the intentions got to be there. It's got to be sincerity there and tenacity and perseverance. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You will see the results. Hey, how are you? I left you a message about getting a natal chart reading from you. Unleash me for. Did you DM me or did you email me? I'll go check my message again. I ain't seen no message from you. I'll check it again, but I ain't seen no message from you. Or did you respond to my message? Okay, I see if you responded to my message. Cause if you DM me, I do respond. I don't ignore no DM. Okay, I usually respond. Did you respond to me? Okay, so these are higher vibrational intelligence and energies. They won't always, when a spirit is going to manifest with you and understanding these energies and understanding consciousness, again, it's going to be more telepathically, it's going to be through your feelings. That's why it's so important to have your nervous system regulated, okay, and to have your mind clear. Particularly, and I know if somebody else in here, and I know that y'all gonna talk about me again, and I say it all the time, I probably need to make a t-shirt for the ancestors. Get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. Relax. Listen to some music that's gonna help you access that spiritual sphere. It's gonna open you up, but you need to relax. It's not gonna be like what you see on Hollywood. It's not gonna be that. Now, I will tell you, angels will manifest themselves in full, and they can be look any kind of way they want to look. I've seen them also work through people. It'll trip you out. Just like you see these people jump through here and you see these evil spirits move people. I have seen angels. When you see it, it'll make you cry. I'm telling you, to make you cry. I seen it one day. I could not believe it. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. Okay. I knew something was happening. I say, what is happening here? The lady wouldn't take my money at the bus station. She told me my money wasn't no good there. This man gave me some money out of nowhere, told me, said, God said, keep your head up, sister. I don't know these people from a can of paint. You hear me? So they are very real. Okay, you got your frequency right. And again, if you actually need it, they see anything, they see you in distress, they usually show up. And you've probably have already experienced this with somebody and you didn't even know they was an angel. You didn't even know. But I bet you can't find that person. I bet you can't find that person that helped you. You probably have experienced it. And you probably can't even find that person that helped you out of nowhere. They seem to show up like that. Okay? These how these spirits will show up out of nowhere. Just as fast as they came, as fast as they leave. Okay? So but they are very, very real. Our ancestors have already talked about them. Okay? Their job is again maintaining the harmony in the cosmos, looking out for us. Many people think they're going to see a bright light, they're going to see some feathers, you know, but they manifest in so many other different ways. And so when we come to talking about these different higher energies, and to hear some of the occultists explain their contact with them, they are usually going to explain them in that way. And when you're looking at inspiration and creative ideas, you're talking about these sort of intelligences. Okay. Another example of that too is when we look at, who is that? Is that Ogun? He's over metal and iron, but we also take a look at Ogun and go, Ogun is over technology. He's also over technology as well. Okay. Again, higher intelligence being. So when someone is working with Ogun, I'm sure they're going to know a lot about computers and things like that, engineering, things like that. The same thing when you come in contact again with some of these archangels. They're real. Okay. Again, through Western eyes, they just have been, our ancestors didn't particularly call them that. So we're going to go over two of what our ancestors called them, why they call them that. Okay. So again, let me go through here. What our ancestors call them. Our ancestors again call them messengers. They call them sky beings, um, cosmic beings. And we kind of went through that too when we go through the doggone tribe. But they definitely knew that there were other energies out there. Some of them were called ancestors. They were just simply called ancestors. Some of them was just simply called ancestors. Okay. Many angels' legends stem from tribal beliefs, genetic memory, and spiritual recall. Over centuries, about angelic hosts have changed depending on who wrote about them. Many scholars believe that angels are the result of the crossbreeding among belief systems, including Egyptian, Sumerian, Babylonian, Persian archetypes. This is the indication that many of the angels originate from the divine feminine as well. So we've already told you where they've originally come from. And so now you have, again, our ancestors already recognized a lot of them again, as ancestors and older goddesses and deities as well, because you're seeing that happen among the virtues when you start looking at Haniel, when you start looking at Gabriel. A lot of synchronization went on. That's basically what I'm telling you here. But these are still higher frequencies that we can access. I hope I haven't lost anyone. Okay. Still high frequency that humankind can access for help at all times. But if you do not ask for help, they cannot intervene. If your mind is your consciousness is not going in that direction to ask for a higher help, to access those higher again, and they're and these angels too, they're not just outside of you, they're a part of you too. They're a part of your consciousness as well. So that um they're not beyond your contact. Okay? Because all of this is intelligence is consciousness as well. And once your mind start going there and you start thinking and asking for help from your higher self, your higher power, people have different names for it. The great mother, the great spirit. Again, immediately your thoughts begin to access higher help. They sense that. Okay, as soon as you start asking for the, but if you don't ask for help and you don't ask for assistance, you haven't been invoking them. They can't help you intervene until you ask. They can't. If you ask, then yeah, they will intervene. But if you don't, that's the agreement. And believe me, when they want to help you, angels, they want to help you. Your guardian angel want to help you. They all want to help you. When you start giving them permission to help you, but you can't tell them how to do it. That's another thing too. Working with angels, you can't tell them how to do it. That's not how that works. You're gonna have to learn how to surrender and let go when you're working with angels. You just got to tell them what you need to be done, and it be specific as you can, what you need to be done, and let it go. You can't tell them how to do it. It's going, but it'll get done. You got to ask for assistance. You have got to say, "Hey guys, I need you here, angels." You have to be invoking them, calling up on them. They will not intervene in human affairs without you requesting help. That's why you got to open your mouth. Some of us, we haven't been taught when to open our mouth either. We open our mouth at the wrong time, or when we do open it up, we ain't saying nothing. Or we saying something to cross ourselves up. Hey, time stamping army. Okay. So you have to ask for help and be consistent. And you'll know it's them because when you're getting a message from them, they'll start repeating the same thing in your head. You'll be like, why am I? You're not going to feel relief until you do it. You'll keep repeating stuff in your head. Did you go over here? Did you go over there? 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 You be like, why am I repeating it? Go over there, go over there, go over there, go over there. And you go over there and you do that, and you find out you got a blessing. You was at the right place at the right time. Again, when you're having it, that's why you need to slow down and monitor your thoughts. Hi, Pooh. That's why you gotta slow down and monitor your thoughts. They got you running fast, and you probably getting all kind of messages, but because you caught up somewhere else, you missing all the messages and stuff. Okay, but you're gonna have to slow yourself down. Okay, one time they told me to get off at an exit, and they saved me from a bad accident. See, they do stuff like that. It don't make no sense at the time, but and it'd be repet, and some of it feel like a real urgency. You can feel like it'll be kind of a little urgency of being you, you to do it. And then after you do it, you feel a lot better. You know, again, this is how they communicate. But if your mind is all wrapped up somewhere else, and you ain't got no relationship with these angels, because that's what we trying to do. We trying to get friends on the other side. That's what we trying to do to make this life a little bit easier for us. Because if we get help on the other side, we can heal ourselves, get ourselves in alignment, and we'll have some allies, that are formidable. You can't have better allies than that. These go beyond friends. Okay, and that's what we want. Ain't that what we want? I thought that's what we all wanted. That's what I want. And I want that for you. I got off a 18 wheeler. See? What's the origin of angels? Again, they go all the way back. Like our ancestors said, they called them sky people. They called them sky enforcers. It says the concept of angels predates the Abrahamic religion by thousands of years. Early tribal cultures across Africa, the Middle East, and indigenous communities around the world described them as beings of light. Okay? Winged messengers, sky ancestors, star people, watchers, guardians. These beings were not called angels, but they were served as the same role, intermediaries between the Great Spirit and humanity. Okay? And then the first oldest angel we see is when we go up in Kemet and we're seeing Isis. She's called the Queen of Heaven. Then later, Mary is called, again, in the image of Isis or Set. She's called the Queen of Angels. Let's break this down where it first come from before Western civilization got their hands on it. So when we start looking at these angelic beings, who do they look like? Because again, y'all know I gotta say it. I'm gonna say it anyway. Okay? You already know that we already know that ancient America is to Mary, which is ancient Egypt. Hey, Raquel, we already know that. And so when we're looking at our great mother standing up there with those feathers on, and I call her great mother, it starts to look ancestral to me. I don't know about you. That's how I see it in my mind. Because now I have traced this angel all the way back to the great mother. And they call her the queen of angels here. I'm going to trace it right back to the great mother again. So if she's queen of angels and she's the queen of heaven, where the angels getting the power from? I'm late, baby. I know. I did this at the last minute. Where the angels getting the power from? So again, you want to know the origin? Look with your own eyes. And these people do not own these energies. Okay? Religions do not own these, and they were already here. They were already helping humans. They were already here. Okay? And you start to look at these things, like I said, you start looking at the ancestors, telling where they're gonna lead you. Okay, stop looking at these people. Okay, especially you're a person that look like me. Telling where your ancestors gonna. You thinking ancestors just family? No, 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 no. We already told you. We already told you that. No, it's not just your family. Your 3, 4 generations. No, you've been here. How they get here, and then how they get here, and then how they get here. We're going back to the root to who you are, because I quite found out I was doing something bad to my daughter. What? I was going through something with a man, and a woman came to me dressed in a white and told me to be quiet because I was quiet. Quite found out he was doing something bad to my daughter. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. But these things, these angels are very, very real. Okay, they're high intelligence. You have to see it with yourself. They have the power to influence people. You when you see it with your mind, when you see it with your own eyes. That's why I'm just shaking my head. When you see it with your own eyes, you're gonna be like, "What?" I felt like I was in the twilight zone when they were doing that to me. Nobody was taking my money. They wouldn't take my money. That woman sat there and told me in my face, I've never experienced that in my life. That woman told me my money wasn't no good here. And I know darn well that they charge for them bus schedules. Gave me my money back and told me my money wasn't no good there. And the look she had on her face, I said, oh my, what is happening here? What's happening here? Is these people trying to be funny with me? What's happening? Okay, so I'm telling you, they can move when they want to move. You do want, this on your side. And at that time, me and God was in a fight. Me and the Most High was in a fight. We was in a fight. Okay, I was in a fight. Got me straight real quick, but we were fighting. We were arguing. Got me straight real quick. I can touch you whenever I can touch you. I can reach you from wherever you at. I hear you when you talking to me. So don't play with me. That's the message I got. Okay. It scared me so bad because again, I thought I wasn't in contact with the Most High. Then all of a sudden, these people start responding. Hey, I'm telling you, it's real. Okay. Oh, I was thinking that too. The ancestors meant family. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Okay, it's beyond family. I've already broken that down to you. You got star ancestors, you got galactic ancestors, you got goes beyond that. And we want to be talking to them ancestors. They heal, they're more elevated, they're stronger. But the thing about them, you have to again be trying to heal and evolve. That's what these ancestors are on. They're trying to heal the generational line. They're about self-mastery. Yeah, they want you to reach your goals, but you have ancestral law that you have to be in alignment with. Ancestral law said you got to be on healing. Then you have that natural law, the law of nature. Then you have the cosmic law you got to get in alignment in. Yeah, you got all that you got going on with you. That's when I say when you got to get in alignment, that's why I say this stuff work together. It worked together. Okay? I don't know nobody. Hey, it will all work together. So I'm not just talking to you out the side of my neck. I know how this work. I've sat down long enough and cried long enough about how hard, it was for me to get my damn self together. I cried about this to the ancestors so many times and be like, why, you know, why? I don't know this. And why I got all these wounds. I cried like a baby. Okay, so I know. Okay, I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not making this up. Because when I heard that how many generations it take to reset the DNA, hell, that work looked like a lot of work ahead of me as well. Okay, and all of us are trying to evolve here. The oldest known angel-like beings come from ancient, again, Kemet. We're gonna talk about the Netherru, and then when we look at the Netherru too, we're talking about pre-dynastic. I don't know why these people love walking around here with no clothes Uh, on my balcony out here. These folks love coming out here with no clothes on. But when we start looking at that, we're looking at the Netherru, we're looking at these first beings. Okay, these first angelic nature beings. And over there, we're talking about again, when we start talking about these elemental energies and working with these elemental energies, the best way to access them is through the angels because they're going to help you be able to access your own innate abilities to contact these elements, but help you work with them safely. And I recommend that, especially if you're going to be working with water spirits or if you're going to be working with fire spirits. You definitely want the archangels front and center on there. Now we covered Cornelius Agrippa. Cornelius Agrippa talked about this, but we are not going to use the Cornelius Agrippa method at all to access these archangels. We are not going to use that method. We do things totally different over here in Hoodoo. We set up tables. We build relationships versus Western occultists, they like to command and demand stuff, and then when stuff don't work out that way and they life get wrecked, you weren't even supposed to be doing it that way in the beginning because you don't know what you're doing. Be doing it the right way. I show you that when you get up there. We don't demand and command like that. Okay, we're working with cool, helpful spirits. So there is no need to be trying to command and demand nobody do nothing. Okay. Now what you'll notice about these, and admits this. A lot of occultists admit this, and this is why they get over there. In order to admit this, you had to be trying to do this. They admit trying to go over here and manipulate these elemental spirits into do their bidding, and it always backfires on them. Okay, they have tried to use it for this, so that's why I say you can't get over here and work with these spirits like that without it. Okay, now if you conjure, that's different. That's a different ballpark. We talking about these cool spirit. We was talking about these Bolivian spirits over here. I hope this making sense to you. I have not lost anyone here. That's why we have you working with archangels. That is why we have you working with your most elevated ancestors, because you're gonna see a big shifts. Then you can go on to work with a variety of saints. After you have mastered that, if you've mastered keeping your vibrations, and you could do a lot of stuff with that root work. It's only going to improve your root work. You might even have roots and plants start talking to you. You're going to get more sensitive at your root work. You'll be able to look at your root work with again through magical eyes when you start working with these energies like this. Okay? That's what happened to Bobby Hemmett. Okay. Oh, that's what happened to Bobby Hemmett? I'm telling these things is real. Okay, but your mind and slowing your mind down is going to be essential. Okay, so thousands of years later, you're seeing these angels come on the scene by Western civilization, and they're building up their pantheon. That's why when we look at Catholicism, you heard me say it. Catholics, where did y'all get y'all religion from? You had to get it from somewhere. The modeling from it. The model, where'd you get that model from? Because we already know where you got the Ten Commandments from. We know you got that ancient Kemet. We already know you got that tree of life, um, that path working, because that's what it is. It is initiation, meditation, path working. That tree of life. Where did you get that from? You got that from ancient Egypt. So I want to know where you got that, because our ancestors went right in there and synchronized that. How would that you did you get that from us too? Did you get that? See, I have to ask y'all these questions. I have to ask you these questions because we know there's no original going on with you. We already know that. Okay, we know there is nothing original because when we start looking at your stuff, we start tracing it back to us every time. We trace it back to our ancestors every time. You just I don't know what you call yourself doing, but uh, I have to ask you where you got it from. And so that's why I tell you, when you start looking close at these religions, don't get so tied up in the religion, it in so much as looking for your ancestors. Because when you start looking for your ancestors, you're gonna find the truth, the root to it all. They were always there. They were never far from you. You just couldn't see. Now you can see. Okay. So if you're going to be working with these elemental spirits, and you can, a lot of people already do, but if you're going to be working with them in magic in that capacity like that, you need to have your intentions together. It needs to be, because you're working with higher frequencies. So when you be trying to manipulate them into doing nefarious things, they liable to not work with you again. When you do work with them, you won't get the results that you're looking for. Okay, and I'm not making this up. You can go see what other occultists have done this, and they have messed themselves up. Okay, that's why we go through it thoroughly. But a good book that we have over there, It's by Civil Raven Wolf, working angels, companions, and magic. Very good book, thorough. I've never seen a book as thorough as hers. I haven't seen a book as thorough as hers. Okay, when it comes to working with angels, you'll find a lot of helpful information, the hours, the time of the day they come on, which zodiac sign they rule over, what signs, what best signs work with different angels, because certain angels work better with different zodiac signs. Some angels don't work with certain zodiac signs so well. So all of that matters. Okay. Repeat the name. It is the book by Civil Raven Wolf, Angels, Companions, and Magic. Very old book. Probably over that book is probably yeah, it's about over 20 years old. Okay. Very helpful, very useful information. She even has some invocations in there. Um, how to cast a circle. I mean, just so much helpful information in there. But again, when it comes to angels and working with them during different phases of the moon, helping you understand, angels with more clarity without all the fluff. I think she did a good job with that because we think angels are supposed to look a certain kind of way because they have been personified. And really, they can come in all forms. Okay? They can materialize feel in full flesh. They can also have the ability to manipulate certain people, to move them to do certain things. Yes, yes, yes. Mhm. They do. That's just what they do. Okay? And it's a beautiful thing to access them uh and come in contact with them. You'll know it because they'll start repeating things in your head, or you'll start, you know, getting the urge to do something, and they tell you to contact that person or do certain things, and you'll start getting blessings. It'll be little synchronicities. Okay, you want them there. Okay, they also too they want you to work closer with your ancestors. Again, because you got that again, the law of the ancestors, again, with your bloodline, with your DNA. You're there to again align your frequency. All this works together. You're up on the divine law with all of this. This is why shadow work is important, ancestor work is so important. This is why I get you to working with angels right away. Because again, angels also too are higher parts of yourself because those frequencies are built within your consciousness. When you're able to access your higher self and tap into the inspirations and things like that and start seeing yourself in your higher self, you're accessing the angelic part of ourselves, the Christ-like parts. Is that making sense? Because they're going to help you start seeing yourself like that too. Okay. And that's what we want to do. We want to get that strong. We want to get that strengthened up. So you'll see these stories among the indigenous American tribes, the Aboriginals in Australia, from the people in Siberia, the Polynesian histories. There are stories of luminous ancestors who descended from the sky to teach, guide, and warn the community. So they talked about this. Somebody was talking about who was talking about these aliens, and they call them aliens now. And they're not, when you're seeing these ancestors come from these galactic ancestors come from different star systems or whatever. Again, they're calling them aliens. But what you think is an alien, they calling them alien. But you start looking at these are dimensional beings. They're coming in and out of our dimension. They're not coming from out of space they're coming out of an astral dimension. When you start, because a lot of them too, when they go to look for them or try to um, have contact with them, it seems like they don't have like they're not physical. Some of them, they're coming in and out of there. They're just seeing reflections of light come in and out of this dimension. You'll never be able to catch them because they're dimensional. They're coming out of different vibrational frequencies and dimensions. So no, you're not going to be able to uh catch up with that. That's a quantum jumping you guys have not caught up with yet. I don't know if you are doing any dimensional jumping, but that's what's going on there. They will never be able to like catch them. You just do your research and you start looking at these UAP. What do they call them? You can tell the difference in what a real drone, because some of that stuff they was doing drone, tricking people with drones. But when it is a real UAP, a UFO, I'm just gonna call it UFO because this UAP is new. A UFO, those things are they're not as tangible. You're seeing them come in and out of dimension. They bounced around like gas molecules. I thought I was tripping. I was not. No, you're right. Because they're bouncing around. They're coming in and out of this frequency. They can come in and out this dimension. The same thing you can see with some crypto animals. Some crypto animals, I'm getting off topic. I'm gonna get back on top of you guys. Some crypto animals, they can come in and out this frequency. That's why you can't see them. Okay, they have the ability to come in and out of this frequency. Some people spot them at sometimes, and then sometimes they'll just disappear. You don't see them anymore. Okay, they bounced around. Yes, I started getting double vision. Okay, so sometimes you can see them. Depends, and sometimes the more spiritual you become, depending on your spirit guides and how your angels are working with, you'll start being able to see in other dimensions. You'll be able to see some things. Some people that already can do it. You'll be able to see things in other dimensions that other people can't see. Okay, these are dimensional beings. But again, they're calling them aliens, but these are not aliens in the sense. Now, I say this is because these people are going into a meditative state. Some of them, and our ancestors did the same because they didn't have a telescope, especially when you look at the doggone tribe and how they um, access the celestial. They're going into a deep meditative state, and they're going within. So, and it's called the astral realm. You have astrology, astronomy. So, are we talking about astral realm? You got to break this down. Then we got people going on the inside to access outer space. So, we're talking about inner space or outer space. Is that the way we access outer spaces through our inner space? Come on now, because people are channeling and they're going outer space through their inner eye. So, what is outer space? What really is astrology? What really is astronomy? So, is somebody going to the astral world? They're coming from the same root name, Astra. What's happening here? Okay, so kind of think about it that way. Okay, and start listening. Kind of observe and listen to people experience when they're channeling, because they're channeling for something that's not here. Okay, they're going inside their mind. Mind's such a supernatural thing, and they're going into the astral realm. So I have to ask myself too, with the astronomers, where is y'all going? Where is you going? And why you still going up there? Why are we still up there if we ain't seen no beings that these people are channeling? Why you still going up there? So I just got a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions behind that. Okay, astro imagination, pure melanin. Okay, that's what's time stamping arm and say. So we have a lot of questions there. And then my thing too is why you going there and you saying, because remember they told us some aliens supposed to be coming here, y'all. Where the aliens at? Are these higher intelligences that's coming here that's going to impact our thinking? Are they going to become as dimensional beings? astral beings, or they're going to have physical body like us? These are the questions, I have for them, because we haven't seen any physical. Y'all haven't showed it to us. Here, y'all won't even show us a picture of Earth when you say you go out of space, which I don't know about that. We can't even get a picture. We can only get these made up images, that we think out of space or from a telescope. But y'all won't even take pictures of the Earth. I don't understand that. Seems like that's the first thing I do. Okay, so I have so many questions. Okay, and y'all, what you're doing, you think you're giving us so many answers by going out of space and all this stuff. I have more questions for you than that. That don't answer none of my damn questions. Me seeing you going out of space. Okay, I have more questions for you than anything, because now we have people here that's actually making contact with dimensional beings. That you're saying you're going out of space and you ain't saw nothing yet. We ain't seen them. I ain't seen them. Okay, you have people having these accounts of seeing them. So if these people having accounts of seeing them, how come you are not seeing them either? Them folks, and you going up there for nothing then. You going up there for nothing, because that's what we came. We went up there to see if there was any more life. You've been out there too long, and you ain't showing us no pictures or nothing. And when somebody do show us something, you tell us it's a lie. So that means that you've been going up there for nothing and you ain't found nothing. So stop going up. Why you keep going up there? You know, we have to ask them more questions, because there ain't no sense in us paying for you to go up there and find stuff and you ain't gonna tell us the truth. Why was we gonna pay them tax dollars and you gonna sit there and lie to us? That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Now you better come back with something, and it better be full disclosure. I don't want nothing being no secret documents or nothing. Because it wasn't no secret when you went up there. And it don't need to be no secret of anything you find up there. That don't need to be no secret either. That's just my opinion, you guys. I'm on my soapbox. The aliens are us reconnecting to the many forms of information. Information is alive, and she connects all of us together in her womb of creation. That, I think that is a very good way of looking at that as well. Okay, because so much changed. When all this stuff, all these changes happen. Okay, they were not worshipped, they were honored as helpers and watchers and star messengers. This echoes the later biblical term Malak. Now, when you look at the Michael, the Archangel Michael, his name, if you was to look at it from an indigenous perspective, it would be like Michaela, Makala. Okay, if you was to look at that, because when you start looking at the older names, that's what our ancestors was calling them. Okay, and Michael kind of got that name. Time stamping exactly facts. Yeah, you said Miss Penny. In the U.S., there are a lot of Black Santa and Black Christmas decorations. What are your thoughts, and also your thoughts of them that put up the melanin woman in Times Square? Okay, Raquel is asking me a question, so I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to repeat that. Yeah, angel origin. Again, they come again. You start seeing it. It comes from our ancestors understood them as bright ancestors or star ancestors. They looked at them as their ancestors. Okay, so I have Raquel 2934 on my YouTube family here asking me a question. Miss Penny, in the US, there is a lot of Black Santa and Black Christmas decorations. What are your thoughts, and also your thoughts of them put up the melanin woman in Times Square? Raquel, you're going to get me on a soapbox, but I'm going to answer the question. Bree, I hope I answered your question. I'm going to get back on topic in a minute. I promise you. I'm going to answer Raquel 2934 question. These people are, it is the most sickest thing I've ever seen. It's the sickest thing I've ever seen. It's disgusting. You are going to oppress, manipulate, deceive my people. And now that they are saving their money, now you want to put out products and items that represent them so you can have access to their economic energy and continue to drain them. That's how I see that. You do not do anything for them. Matter of fact, all that stuff should be free. Why are we even still paying for stuff? That is so damn ghetto. I'm just saying. Why are we still in that? Why are we still doing this? Like you get a you ask me something, you gonna get a crazy ass answer from me. I'm sorry. Why are we still doing this? The resource is Mother Earth. We already know this. Why are we still buying stuff that don't mount to a hill of beans and we don't need none of that to live? What we need is the earth. What we need is food. We need is shelter. We've got something put on us that don't even, it only exists in our imagination. Because somebody told us we got to have this to access natural resources. It is the craziest ghetto thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't even know why we keep doing it. But we say we are evolved people. And people with money, rich, they actually think they better than us. They actually think they better than poor people, and they ain't. I mean, this it is a false belief that's causing them to be like this. It is the most ghettoest thing. It's the saddest thing, the lowest thing I think in the human evolution is that. I can't wait to that we get past that. These people actually think because this with this money, this house, and all this stuff, they actually think that they better. And you got actually people think they're gonna be better people getting that stuff. They actually believe that. That's what I think about that. Why are we even still doing that? Why am I paying for water? Why am I paying for gas? For natural stuff. Why ain't it a damn garden on every corner? Why ain't it that? I shouldn't have to pay to live. Why am I working for you? Why are you draining my energy like that and you're doing something raggedy to folks anyway? Most of them corporations are. Why are we still dealing with that? Why is it so important for y'all to harness our time like that? Why do you want 8 hours our time? Like why would you want that? Seem like you would try to make it better for everybody life easier. But no, 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 no. That's not what you do. It's the ghettoest place. My mind just don't operate like that no more. It's the saddest ghettoest place. Nobody asked for this stuff. I don't blame women. Don't bring no babies up in here like this until this place get better. Okay, it's the crazy place. I mean, the earth sitting right there where the food grow from and everything we need right there. And they done made up some a false resource to cut you off from the land. Then put you to work and say you ain't gonna be about no food, no nothing if you don't come get our money, and we're gonna make you work for it. We're gonna make that's the currency. Then name it after the great mother, current. See what I'm saying? I get mad every time I think about it. Okay? Name it. Then gonna say prophet. Then gonna name it after the divine. Go even prophet. And then you got a prophet. See what I'm saying? It's a blasphemy when patriarchs did what they did. You understand me? That's just my feeling on it. And then you still with these people trying to steal, they harness their energy and stuff like that. If you could do it through money, if you could do it, you're trying to harness people, and you know darn well that you got these people in an economic war, and you steady trying to draw in. They can't even afford no Christmas. You don't know. We don't want to know what I would do. I would demolish all of that. That's just my feeling. That's why I had to get away from there. I had to get away from there because it need to be demolished. It should have been demolished a long time ago. Okay, I'm just telling you the truth. How dare you? It's the blasphemy for me. I mean, the earth sitting right there where the food grow at. Everything you need right there. And they got us so crazy that looking for this money got us thinking that all these things got us addicted to all these things that's gonna make us feel like we will. Got folks putting in fake boobs and butts and yeah, we don't see how sick we is. You know, we don't know how sick we is. We don't. We really don't. Okay? We really don't know. This we got work to do. We got evolving to do. Okay? That's the only thing I can say. And I don't agree with it because you know that's a blasphemy. And them folks, you don't put these at everybody. You don't put you are draining humans' energy. You are harnessing their energy with that. You know, folks shouldn't be working on no job and all that kind of stuff anyway. You are treating organizations like they are gods. That's what's happening over there. These organizations and companies and corporations have become your gods. We already broke down egregores. That's what's happening there, and they feeding them things. Okay? I wouldn't be dealing with none of them. I wouldn't. I hope it, boy. Look at here. I hope y'all have a revolution over there. I hope a Nepal happens over there. I pray that a Haiti happens over there. I hope the ancestors stand so mighty over there, honey. Baby, to break all that down. You hear me? Because that's not what our ancestors want for us. They done came over there and made that a mockery. And that was a holy place. Okay? Everybody looked up to us. And they done came over there and made that a mockery. That's just my opinion. And them corporations need to be demolished. I'm telling you, be a, you know, that's my thing. Cause yeah, the line they have crossed over there is beyond disrespect. Cause if they was in another country, a lot of them corporations, if they was in another country doing that, they'd have already been demolished. Believe me when I tell you this. Believe me, if them corporations was doing what they was doing in another country over there, say like in Nepal somewhere, or say like in China somewhere, they wouldn't be there. The atrocities they commit against the American people there to feed these things. That's why that Epstein thing ain't gonna come out. They want to keep that going on. Why would you keep that going on? What you feeding? I don't know what these patriarchs or what these men set up when they set up these religions. Because truly it is something, something is happening there. That's why we had that conversation and broke that down. The things I see, like I said, I may not make sense to you. So you probably don't want to listen to me. And I'm gonna say something that's probably different from everyone else. I'm sorry. Okay? Wait a minute, Penny. Miss Penny, we still live here in America. I know, baby. I know you do. And then the folks that brought theyself over here. I told you them Israelite people is over here messing with these Thailand people, buying up stuff, telling them what to do and all that. And the Thai people ain't saying much about that. I said these folks is wicked. You understand me? There was such a thing. This is what these folks is doing. They have that same attitude. You know, if it wasn't for my country, your country wouldn't have no money. So they're pouring their economic structure into Thailand. And you know, Thailand is a uh, it is a humble country. Okay, now them people coming way over here messing with these folks, just raggedy. And I don't say nothing to them. I don't know if these people where I live at is they from Israel or not, but I say to myself, I'm just a very peculiar person. I don't like a whole bunch of people. It's just me and my daughter. That's it. I don't do no whole bunch of talking. I had one person talk to me that was interested in my condo because you know she wanted a bigger condo and I have a bigger condo than her. And she was letting me know when my lease is up, you know, she would like to rent my condo and have my contact information, but I just don't. Cause I don't know where y'all come from, from another country. You don't look like me, so I don't know what you come to these people country for. And every time I see them, uh, they usually doing something crazy. You know, they usually doing something crazy, and they marrying all these young Thai women. A lot of them are marrying these young Thai women. So, b- look, that's what we dealing with over there. Now, either my thing for the American people is I wish that because the power is with the people, like the ancestors said, the power is already with you. You just won't stand up and take it. You know, nobody gonna give you nothing. Them folks, you didn't give them what they got, so you think they're gonna give you something back? And I know you don't want to hear that, but this ain't no peace and love and light over here. That's not how that's gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen that way. It's gonna happen when you take it or acting like they don't exist and keep on moving and protect yourself. You not already see you already have a great playbook. Our ancestors, by looking at our experiences, our ancestors' experience with them, we have a pretty good playbook on how to defeat them, and we don't even know it. And they keep using the same playbook. They really don't really use nothing new. They be using the same playbook. Okay? And like my ancestors say, it's always more than one way to skin a cat. You just gonna have to come up with it. Okay? Hell, and I can't even say you're gonna have to stand up because you the righteous folks. You got more righteousness in you. Everybody know that. That's why everybody looking at you when they was protesting stuff, getting mad at uh at us. But the way you gonna have to stand up, you ain't gonna you can't be no asking. Okay? You got to have yourself together. That's just the way it is, or you gonna have to mean business and stop shopping and get renegade on them and just start growing your own food and all that kind of stuff and be ready. Okay? Because it's gonna have to do something revolutionary. Got to. Our ancestors, the only way the things we got, the stuff that we got today over there is because our ancestors had to be revolutionary. You can't be no follow law type of stuff. I don't know what the hell you think you gonna win playing that game. No, you're gonna have to write a new game. You got to flip the script and write a new game and make it to where they ain't got no choice but to play your game. That's how this got to be. You got to come up with something like that and be prepared to put your hands on somebody. Be prepared for that. Don't think that all that marching and freedom, peace, and no, 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 no. Don't be. Be prepared to put your head on somebody. We got some Oguns and Shangos out there, okay? Be prepared to call them those warrior ancestors. And I'm telling you that we got them in us. Because every time I think about, I could tell you the warrior I could become if I have to. Okay? You gonna hey, that's what's gonna take. And I'm sorry I can't preach to you I have a dream. I can't preach that to you. Because that's not how that happened. Okay, them folks didn't come in with they I have a dream. They came in putting their hands on folks and stealing stuff, people's stuff. Okay, and when somebody break in your house and steal something, is you gonna be talking about I have a dream? Hell nah, you gonna be trying to do something and get them up out of there, ain't you? They ain't come back up in there no more. This kind of attitude you probably want to have. Okay, I don't know what you was expecting. I was supposed to say here. I don't like, that's just my opinion, you guys. That's the wisdom I have because them folks is hunting them folks, that system, those corporations there are there because of our ancestors. They built their corporations off the back of our ancestors. Those folks got to go. That's the shadow work we got to do. Okay? They got to go. They ain't supposed to be there. It's a blasphemy. They ain't supposed to be there and still trying to benefit off us. It's the most disgusting thing ever. You ain't even trying to make it right. You still trying to economically, enslave us and all this stuff. It's a total come up. No, I wouldn't be buying nothing from them folks. Christmas is canceled. I don't give a damn about none of that, boy. Y'all don't want to ask me them kind of questions. Ask me them kind of questions. You don't want to ask. All y'all have the holidays is canceled. What the hell I look like to you? I'm going. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be making my own damn dolls. We gonna start making my own. I'm not buying nothing. I'm not doing. I would get revolutionary on them. Y'all don't want to ask me them kind of questions. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. Because I just think all of them should be destroyed economically, the same way our ancestors did that damn boycott for a whole year. Yeah, see, y'all ain't got that in you. That's what I call revolutionary. Our ancestors, they chopped off heads with that. You understand? They didn't play no games. When they meant something, they meant that. They don't give a damn if they had the carpool or they wasn't buying shit. They meant that. So I don't think we got that in us like that. Okay? We ain't got that kind of revolutionary like that. And they was getting ready to take it to another level. Because if they would have kept Martin Luther King, that have a dream speech was changing. That last speech he made, that I have a dream speech, that speech was changing. You understand me? It was changing. It was changing that. Hey, wait a minute, they up in our stuff. They had to get rid of him. Y'all not ready for that type of. Are you ready for it? Are you ready to stick together and stand on business with each other with it? And then two, we got a lot of them. I hate to say it, y'all. You got a lot of them coons up there, them celebrities that's into that. A lot of those we got a lot of those people in politics too. We got the boule over there. We got folks that sold us out to these people too, because we just stood by and been, most of us sick. We don't realize what's going on. Okay, we got inside to know what's going on, and two, we're passive about a lot of stuff. So it's gonna take, I don't know what it's gonna take. And the only thing I can see, it'll probably have to be like in Nepal with those young people when the younger generation come in there, because they don't go, they gonna probably have the I don't give a damn kind of attitude. That's probably when you're gonna see something. They young people have to be totally, totally uncomfortable with what's going on and just to have I don't give a damn attitude. This ain't gonna be like this. That's the only way I see it happening. Because these folks are, but I wouldn't be going next door to that woman in Times Square. I've already talked about you, that black woman they put in Times Square. Same thing they did with that Statue of Liberty. These folks know they gonna always, they can't help but know the great mother. And that you don't know that yet. And I know I'm gonna sound crazy saying it. And I'm sorry that it sound crazy and you ain't heard nobody else say it. But the great mother, the real, what am I say, the real queen or the empress, okay, the headquarters, okay, the queen of these empires was in the Americas. You don't have that Statue of Liberty nowhere else but in the Americas. They're putting her in Times Square. So they got you thinking everything coming from Africa and all that. No, 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 no. That's why that you when they do focus on ancient America, they're gonna really focus on trying to rename the culture with the Aztecs, the Incans, the Mayans, and all that. But them your folks. We're talking about the same last landmass. Let's stop playing here. You're talking about the Americas. This is a whole empire. We got more. You got more pyramids in America than you do anywhere else. That's a smoking gun, but they're not gonna tell you that. So they playing with you when they put that in front of you. They know this is a like a nasty occult secret. Can't really take it out of there either because you still gotta honor her in some sort of way. You gotta balance that energy. That's why you had to keep Mary up in that church. You got to have her in there. Your religion don't work without her. It just ain't gonna work. That's why you got Lady Justice. There's no men representing these virtues. There's no men working it. They don't call him Father Justice, Lady Justice, Lady Liberty, Mother Nature. There's no men that represent these virtues like this. And letting you know what it is. You actually, do you think they want to do that in the patriarch society? They have to. They don't embody that. They need that energy here. They have to. There's no men that represent justice. That's why I said they don't need to be talking about humanity. They don't need to be talking about liberty. They should not be leading. That's an indication to you right there. They shouldn't be leading. That's an indication to you. If there's a Lady Liberty there and there's a Lady Justice there, that's an indication to you they need to get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. Because there's no men representing these virtues. So how the hell you gonna you don't even got that in you. You've already showed me that because you want to push the button and it you know destroy stuff. You can see it with your own eyes. It's common sense to me when you start seeing it. I know when I first saw, because I was sick too. When I first saw that Statue of Liberty, especially the one that friends first brought over here, it was you could definitely see that it was a woman of color. And so I said, no, that's not what that is. I said, what? They said, no, that's not what that is. They are sending over a woman in a patriarch society. Why would they do that? And then they put a shackle on her foot. What is that saying to you? Why would men do this? What is the deeper meaning here? They have arrested the divine feminine. They have defined Lady Liberty the way they want their liberty to look, the way they want their lady to look. She has that chain on her foot. Okay, you can take that as you mean, but art speaks. Okay, and you don't see any men representing these attributes. You don't see no man being called the king of heaven. You have the queen of heaven, the queen of angels. They steady telling you without telling you. Why are they saying this? You are missing, and then make you feel women make us feel like we're unimportant. It's all about you. And women, another way this can go too. If women say stop it, women can shut this down too. Women can shut the whole world down if they want to. They can do it. You can do it. Don't think you can't. They make you think you can't, but you can. You've done it before, and it pissed them the hell off. You kind of doing it again, okay? Because you closing your lids. Say, I ain't gonna have your children. You crazy. Ain't nobody gonna bring no kids in here with your crazy self. Everything high. You want somebody to have your babies, and you crazy. You don't want to go to counseling. Hell no, we ain't having y'all kids. Y'all kind of doing it now, okay? So if you wanted to shut it down, you could. All you gotta do is close your lid. He gonna always bow down to God. You got to. He come out. He spent his whole life. He come out the womb. He spent his whole life trying to get back up in there, be as close to it as he can. We have done it before. We have stopped wars before just by doing that. Just by telling them, if you go out there, we cutting you off. The sweet waters would be cut off. What you think that story was? What Oshun was about? They telling you these stories without telling you. Look at Shango. Shango was promiscuous. He wasn't good to some of them wives. They did all kinds of stuff to him. Are you listening to the Pataki when they're telling you the Pataki? As I said, we need to have discussions on this so we can look at it from different perspectives. Okay. Now, if we women want to shut down, life come through us. That's why you had your mama. I gave you life. I brought you here. I take you out. Same thing. We got the power to do that. All I gotta do is close you down. We can annihilate your whole existence if you keep that up. Nobody be born on this planet. You keep that up. Nothing works without people. You ain't got no people to buy from you, no people to work from you, and all that stuff. None of this exists without women. Nobody would be here without women. You need something from us. I think that's why they went to robots too. They going to robots. Okay. Because when we nobody, because the great mother is already telling us, innately telling us too, and I love the way I see it because I don't think you're already in contact with the great mother if she's telling you no relationships, no children. This the same thing happened to us when we start nesting and getting ready for a baby. Now we're doing this in reverse. The great mother told me this a long time ago. We're doing it in reverse. I talked about this a year ago before this stuff started happening. I talked it's going to be in reverse. Women are going to start again. They're going to stop having children. It's going to be an innate thing in us because it's again it's about preserving ourselves and the human race. And so when we see that it's too much of a threat in our environment to have children, this is among any species, we won't have any children because our environment is not safe. Yeah, it's already happening in South Korea. Uh-huh. Okay. That's kind of scary too when you got this man up there because I don't know. He just remind me so much of that what is the name of that show? The Handmaid's Tale. You ain't careful, that man to start doing stuff like in that show. He sure got that energy on him like that. Okay, so women, you got the power to shut it down if you want to. Those the only two things I can think. Either women gonna have to come together, and the pale faced woman gonna have to realize these men just gonna be, I don't care what color he is. They need to sit down. All of them need to sit down. Period. Period. Okay? Period. You sit down. Nothing wrong. You know, that's not where you supposed to be. Okay? Women need to be back into their divine sovereignty and authority, and again, be in these spiritual systems. Be over these spiritual systems, and things need to go back into divine order. But women will have to, again, agree like it was in the old days. We didn't have no division through race. And so our women will have to come together in that race beyond the color, race issue, because we all come from the great mother. All of us have that genetic coding in us. Either we're going to have to do that, or again, you're going to have to follow your ancestors and do the right thing and do something revolutionary. But it's going to take something revolutionary to happen. Women definitely need to come together. Together we are stronger. Yeah. And see, before them patriarchs came in, we was working together. We were sharing each other medicine. That's why you'll see a common when you look at a lot of our folk magic. A lot of our folk magic, it's going to be familiar. It's going to be divine feminine. So it used to be in the back in years ago, we would share our medicine with each other. We might meet in the middle. Those cultural tribes will have these little meetings during the spring, and they would do trade shows. They would do trading, closer cultures and tribes to each other. They would all these women would meet together in certain places and have these little trades where they would have these little ceremonies and do trading root work and medicine and things like that and magic. Community is so important. Postpartum is new, and it's because we lack community as women. Yes, right. Well, all come for the great mother. Okay, so we had that. And we didn't care about each other and like that. We didn't care about race like that. And women, pale faced women, already knew they came from the dark mother. They never had a problem with it. They never had a problem with. They never had a problem with that. They all knew that they came from the dark mother. Okay, they had no problem with this. You will probably see a little bit of this in Scotland. You'll see a little bit of this in Ireland. A little bit. They already knew this. Okay. Some of them already had this information. Or sometimes their ancestors have already told them, especially if they're Wiccan, they should already know. They know they come from a great dark mother. Most Wiccans know this. Especially if they're in Ireland, they're in Scotland. Um, and we all knew that until these patriarchs came and started taking our land and calling, unaliving us. So much stuff happened to us that they had to get us first. We was the first people colonized. You think that they did this to people of color first? No, they did this to women first. They did this to us first. They started taking stuff from us, doing stuff. Then later, when the men got into it, then they made this about color. Because believe me, all of them want the same thing, right? All of them want access to us, right? All of them want us as property, right? We all agree on that. No matter how they look, they all want us, right? Come on now. We need to stop looking at each other race. Let's look at the same experience we had with the same species. That's a conversation we ain't having. We ain't having that conversation. Okay? And then all of us getting together now, we starting to come together now that where a lot of them suffer from narcissism because they are operating in dark psychology. Because what he said, I'm a jealous guy, ain't no God before me. A lot of them operating out of that psychology. Okay? So a lot of us coming to terms with, hey, even though we speak in different languages and stuff, we having some of the same experiences. And some of you, social media has made us more aware of it. And we're coming together and said, damn, how can we be experiencing the same man in two different cultures and races? Because a lot of them got the same programming. Okay, that's what we're dealing with here. Okay. I'm sorry I got off topic, y'all, but y'all know y'all give me testing these questions. Yes, I say this. If you don't know psychology, you have no idea about man-made religions. And see, they have did when you go. I think it what puts it in better perspective. And I think men should read it too. Go read the Great Cosmic Mother because these men did psychological studies on us, spiritually and mentally, when they took us over. Boy, if that didn't trigger me, you guys, that triggered me. That triggered me. You mean to tell me they know by cutting themselves off from the divine feminine, it prevents them from truly evolving? Go read that book, Great Cosmic Mother. It tripped me out. They have did. Sigmund Freud talked about it. Carl Jung talked about it. They talked about it. And they talked about how in men genetics that they resent that they have this in them, some of them. This is in their psychology, and they talked about us, how to cut us off from this divine energy by reprogramming us. And it worked. They're telling you how they colonize you in that book. The women who wrote that book, I mean, just the Sybil book is good, and the Great Cosmic Mother to good. I promise, if you read those books together, it's gonna put so many things together, together for you. I think we already have the Great Cosmic Mother in our community, but it really will put some things together for you. They doing it on purpose. They knew in order uh to get access to bodies to the civilization, they needed to train you, get women to teach their children to grow up and get a job. Now they can harness the energy of her offspring and they can keep it going. But first they got to teach the mama to teach the child to grow up, get a good job, and how to to be a part of this society. But they had to do it first with the mama, and they go on teaching this. But they had to do it first with the mother because they had to get access because she's bringing in the souls and the portals. If you can't get her to teach them children the way you're not gonna have no civilization. Okay, so you have to do this. And women that got you thinking this ain't important, you absolutely important. Don't nothing shake and move without you. Hell, this don't even exist. You ain't got no people here. Ain't nobody gonna be having no business. Ain't nobody gonna be spending no money. Ain't nobody gonna be working no jobs. Ain't no people here. You can't harness nobody energy. You got no abuse. You ain't got nobody to abuse. And so now they want to pay you extra money to have children. For what? For what? For what? So you can come in here and no. Ain't nobody finna have no children up here so you can exploit them. You need to get somewhere and sit down. That's the problem. Nobody finna do that. Have it yourself. Have it yourself. Ain't nobody finna do that to you. You ain't made nothing better here. We're in an economic crisis here. You talking about bring somebody in here. You don't even want to feed children. You just said food wasn't no damn necessity. We know you crazy. And then want somebody to have somebody's child. Is you crazy? Ain't nobody gonna do that with you. Okay? So women, yeah, keep it. You can shut it down if you want to. You can make him beg and plead because you can live without him. You made him. He can't live without you. He need you. He can't do nothing without you. And the faster he realizes it, the better off he gonna be. And I'm not teaching no man bashing. I'm talking about the natural state of things. Cause this thing done got out of hand. Okay, it done got out of hand. And get the book called The Syllables. Yep. Okay, it just got out of hand. He need to, cause you done forgot who we is. The hell? What's wrong with you? You wouldn't be here without us. Boy, you lost your mind. Yeah, cut him off. Cut him down. He need to learn. He need to go, learn and bow down and understand who the real God here. Because you ain't giving birth to no children here. You ain't navigating no souls on this plane. You ain't nurturing. You ain't the first teacher. You ain't the moral authority here. I am. What you talking about? If I don't put my breast or a bottle in your mouth, you won't live. What's wrong with you? I'm walking God in the flesh. Get somewhere and sit down. And whatever man mad about it, how you get here? I got to ask you how you get here. How you get here? You mad at me about this? I guess you mad at your mama too. Because if you're mad at me, you're mad at your mama. Okay? You mad at me for saying this? Then you mad at your mama. That was your first God. I'm gonna tell all men that your mama was your first God. That's the first time you met God when you saw your mama. She was your God. Okay? She fed you with her body. She brought you into being. You wouldn't be here without it. It's just the craziest thing to me. Then walk around here want to tell you how a woman. You don't be telling women how they should be. You ain't never been no woman. It's just the craziest thing to me. Stop telling stories of civilization because you don't give birth to children. They trip me out. I always want to tell you about history and what happened. Sit down and be quiet. Did you give birth to any of the people that you're talking about? Do you have a womb to give birth to anybody? Then be quiet. Sit down. It trips me how they propel these men in metaphysics. They propel them out there. They get a lot of attention. But somebody, a woman, many of us, we be talking about this. Y'all don't want to listen to us. Then you find yourself in a cult and the man abusing folks in the cult and all this sort of stuff. I see it over and over again. Okay? And you think you're gonna get some answers like this from a man. Are you crazy? He's everything he get is divine feminine intelligences. Divine intelligence is divine feminine. Everything he's getting, that wisdom that's coming through him, wisdom is divine feminine. They tell you that, the occultists tell you that in their books. So you gonna think you gonna get it, Father. He is flawed. This is about his spiritual evolution. Divine feminine, you have already reached yours and he has cut you off from it. You need to reconnect. Because he had failed, you have to reconnect and lead him back to the source. Because he confused. Because if he would have been able to do it, he'd have done it by now. He can't do it. He already proved us. He had this, made this religion over 2,000 some years. They made all this religion. Ain't none of them accomplished what they thought they was gonna accomplish by taking something from us. Okay? And there's all of them like this. I'm not saying all of them like this. Some of the men that woke up and said, y'all men, we need to sit our ass down somewhere. These women supposed to be doing what they supposed to be doing. This is why it's messed up, because we in the way. Some men have told other men that. Okay? They have told other men that. Sit down, because you don't know what you're talking about. These women know what they know what they talking about. You don't get birth. These men have told other men that, are you what they call them? You caking, or you trying to impress, or something like that. They be telling these men to be telling them the truth. You know, they don't want to hear it. Okay. And then a lot of them, they want to be you. They so jealous of you. And this again, that go back to that old ancient wound from their forefathers that did all that kind of stuff they did to us. We got a lot of work to do here. Okay, so much stuff happened to us. So much stuff happened to us. Okay, we got a lot of work to do. We ain't got time to uh be distracted. We don't. We got work to do. And I don't know a person that come here that ain't got nothing to do. They trip me out when person my life just perfect. Well, why the hell you come here? Why they sent you here if your life was perfect? Ain't no way you come here and your life perfect. I know you come here to do some work. Ain't no way they wouldn't have sent you. You wouldn't be here. They wouldn't have sent you here if you didn't have no work to do here. You got something to do. Okay? That's my take on it. No, my heart, I pray for you over there. It ain't fair what they doing, playing them mind games, gonna put all them Christmas present out there looking like you. You asked them to do that shit 20 years ago. They didn't want to do it. Now all of a sudden you want to do it now? All of a sudden you want to do it now. You thirsty now. You really want my energy. I'm not gonna give you nothing. Honey, I make my own black Santa Claus and all that stuff for I give you my money. I draw a picture of my Santa Claus before I put it on the wall. I draw a picture of a Christmas tree before I go out there and buy y'all Christmas tree. It worked just fine. You really need to get out they holidays because y'all done turned that something beautiful into something ugly. Because anyway you care, about these holidays and what they represent, you'll be acting like that, but you don't. All this is about money. Okay? I tear that stuff down. I demolish that stuff. You ask me. And you don't want to know the Miss Penny spirit because I got one of them spirits. I come from people that put hands on folks. It's so embarrassing to say. You don't want to know what Miss Penny think. I come from warrior ancestors. They put their hands on people. They do not play them games. Okay? So you don't want to know what Miss Penny did. What's come out of Miss Penny mouth. Um, it's gonna be very different. Okay? I'm gonna be talking about warrior ancestors. Okay, folks like John Horse and stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna be talking about. You don't want to ask me. It ain't gonna be about no peace of love. I'm calling on revolutionary ancestors. Folks like Tupac Shakur, Malcolm X. I'm them. Fred Hampton. I'm like that. Okay. The stuff shouldn't be the way it is. Okay. I love our masculine without a doubt. Cause you got some men they just jealous of women. Okay. You got some men that's like that. They're just jealous of women. Some of them just like that. Then you got some of them that know the truth. They know the deal. They know they see it with their own eyes. Okay, and some of them telling the truth, and then some of them uh they love the illusion so much. They done drunk this Kool-Aid. Their mind so sick. They love the benefits of them, just like racism. Nobody wants to look at racism, but why look at that when I benefit from it? So I might as well drink this Kool-Aid and stay in a delusion and illusion. Same thing with that. Okay? That's what you're looking at when you see them men act crazy like that when you tell them the truth. Because we look at racism, it does the same thing. You're dealing with the same mind. They got some of the same programming. You're looking at programming when you see that. They go to glitch it out. Okay? Nothing different. I don't even feel like any holiday. I wouldn't either. It ain't no such thing because they using it for the wrong thing. You ain't using it, honey. That stuff should be free. You should be telling people they get that stuff free because of the economic thing. That's what you should be doing. It should be free. Because what other money do you need? Y'all done got all our damn money. All that stuff should be free. I shouldn't have to be paying for nothing. Half of the stuff they charging us it should be free. Okay, I'm not paying for nothing. That's the attitude I got. Okay. And that's gonna be after a while. Folks gonna be taking stuff up out of there, and it ain't stealing if I need it. That's how the hell I look at it. If I'm taking this, I ain't stealing nothing. I'm taking it because I need it. It's a damn shame I gotta take this because I can't afford it. Okay, praying for water and air. Yeah, you don't play with me like that, because that's what's gonna happen with me. And we'll go to court and say it's a shame I had to take that. Y'all calling it stealing it, but I needed that. Damn shame I had to take that because I can't afford it. I can't even buy what I need. I had to take that. Put it on an IOU. Do that. Because that's what it's gonna come to. Um, People can't steal stuff they need. That's ridiculous. Just like, that's that's my take on that. How the hell they stealing food if that's what they need? Them people hungry. They not stealing nothing. The hell wrong with you? I mean, to me, it's just different for me. You don't ask me stuff like that. You're gonna get a different answer from me. You just are. You're not gonna probably like what you hear. It's probably gonna sound. You probably ain't gonna like what you hear. Okay. It's a damn shame at it. Yeah, because that's exactly what I'm gonna tell them. Because I'm not gonna sit there and starve. I'm gonna go right there. Ain't no damn business. It don't make sense for me to keep passing that store and not going in there getting what I need. I'm gonna go in there and get some. And if you take me to jail, I'm gonna tell you it's a damn shame I have to steal. It ain't stealing to me because I'm hungry. The hell you mean? I cannot steal something that I need that I ain't got. The hell you wrong? What you want? No, I can't steal shit. You want me to keep it? I'd be a damn fool not to go up in that store and not get what something to eat. Stop accusing people of stealing stuff when that's what they need. You can't steal nothing you need. That'd be different if I can steal a car. Yeah, I don't need the car. That's stealing. You know what I'm saying? I can see, I can steal a lawnmower or something like that. Something that's not a necessity. You understand what I'm saying? Something that's not doesn't apply to my livelihood. But I can't. No person can be stealing no food or no water. It's no such thing. They needed that. The fuck is damn shame they got to take that. Cause you making me have to take that. You know damn well I can't live without it, and then you gonna put me in jail for it. What the kind of shit is that? Y'all don't want to start asking me these kind of questions. Tell it we can if we understand the civil law, but that's another subject. But that's how I look at it, y'all. Because if you put somebody on TV, you put them on TV to me, they was stealing food. They was hungry. It's a damn shame they got to come in there and steal it. Why didn't y'all just give that to them? They wasn't. It ain't like they was stealing a diamond ring. It's not like they was, stealing some a luxury value, something like that. You're talking. That's a shame if you are busting people for stealing food or stealing water. That's not stealing. Give them that. Give it to them. They need that. That's they need that. You can't steal that. Feeding people is one thing. Greatest acts of love. Water, air, food, shit. That's it. I don't think nobody should be going to jail for stealing food. Now, if they stealing a diamond ring, a fur coat, you know, hurting somebody like that. But if they going in the store and steal some food, leave them people alone. Get them that food and let them out and write that stuff out. Leave them folks alone. Them folks is not stealing. Okay, they hungry. How the hell they gonna steal something they need? That shit don't even make it don't make sense to me. So you don't want me to start saying stuff, and I think they should be letting them folks go. Don't send them to jail for stealing food and water and stuff they need. And stop selling that stuff they don't need. If you gonna want them to buy holiday stuff, give it to them for free. You the one put it out there. Okay, you know they don't need that stuff. You're just making people mind sick with that. But that's just my opinion, y'all. You can take that or leave it. You know, it's gonna be different from everybody else's opinion, but that's just what I think. Okay. What's the name over here laughing at me? She's something. She's something over here laughing at me. Tell me it's a damn shame I had to take that. It is, girl. It is. And you have to start telling them people like, cause it don't make no sense. You talk to them folks and let them make that sense to you, cause that's how I'm gonna let them know. It's a damn shame I had to go in here and take this, cause I can't afford that. You'd have made that like that, so I ate it right there in the store. You understand me? I took it out the store, so I guess I'm gonna go to jail for doing this. Is y'all gonna feed me while I'm here? Cause at least I ain't gotta steal no more food if y'all gonna feed me. What you gonna do? Okay, get back the land and the mineral, food, water, shelter should always be free. I am an archangel, Azrael. Okay. Or give back the fruits, the trees. Yeah, plant that stuff outside for them folks. It don't make no sense to me. And then making that food high like that, making that food expensive like that. It's crazy. And they better not better be. They don't need to be going to jail for taking the food either, because that means they couldn't afford it. I can see it. That's not stealing if they are in there taking food. Them people are hungry. Okay, so that should even that's so stupid to me. That's so stupid to me to send somebody to jail for that. And I can see if they was, stealing like I say, a ring, a flashy ring, or a flashy card. That's stealing. But if you see somebody trying to get access to natural stuff like food and water and stuff, that is not stealing. It's a shame that you would penalize somebody for that. That's stupid to me. That's stupid. Even when somebody's sleeping outside, how you gonna get mad at them because they ain't got no house? If you want them to have a house, give them a house. Outside is free. What the hell wrong with you? You don't own outside. You can't take nobody to jail for sleeping outside. Outside is free. You don't own outside. It don't make sense to me. Like I said, my mind. The more I stay here, the longer these people is just crazy. Okay. The more you hear the crazy, you see some of these folks it get more crazy to you because you start to wake up out of these programmings and you don't fit with them no more. Okay. It rocket high. Exactly. I live off the grid in food forest helping the people project. Yeah. You got we better go, and it pissed me off too. I said we wouldn't even be in this condition if we'd have just stayed on our, but y'all ran us off our land. You know what I'm saying? We had our ancestors trying to teach us, but y'all wouldn't even let us have our own land without running it off, letting some other folks have it and stealing our land and all that stuff. Now, had we been still on our land and near the forest and stuff, we wouldn't have been so dependent on this stuff. Okay, because we'd had more knowledge, we'd really learned something. But now y'all ain't do that. Y'all start unaliving people and stealing their stuff and all this other kind of crazy stuff. You know, I go on and on with them folks. I just go on and on with them folks. Just raggedy, 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 and just keep on being raggedy. I can't wait till y'all get tired over there and do something with it. I can't, because it's gonna take more than one person. It's gonna take all of us standing up and telling them folks to go to hell. That's what's gonna have to happen. It's gonna have to happen. Okay? They trying to make being homeless against the law. They is. Okay, you gonna cause they outside because they ain't got no house and you got a house. What the hell wrong with you? Okay? They ain't homeless, they houseless. They at home, they in their country. They at home. They just ain't got no house. Now, if you just want them to have a house, why don't you give them one? You crazy as hell. You gonna put them in jail because they ain't got a house. And then y'all done made that legal where you can get paid for putting folks in jail. If y'all ain't tired of that crazy stuff, I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy as hell. And then I heard the people trying to sue the people because y'all promised them that y'all was gonna be putting people in jail, and y'all not putting people in jail. Boy, I don't think I can see his stuff burning down. That's all I can see. You got to restart that thing and burn that thing down. That's something I can see because that is just a hot mess. Don't make sense. It's crazy. They put big boulders under the bridges where the homeless camps were, but won't do any real housing casework. They send you in circles. Look at that. They just make me so mad with that. And then there was a man. He had all his property. This has been some years ago. But he had all this property on his land, and he was letting homeless people stay there. He was like, if you have a tent or whatever, you can come stay on my land. He was letting a few people. Do you know that they came out there and told him he couldn't do that? He said, this is my land. I can do anything I want to do. He said, no, you cannot. You cannot have them stand on this land like this. Tripped me out. He was trying to help as many homeless people as he could, by letting them stay on the land if they had their own tent. And some people said no, he couldn't do that. Okay, that don't, it's the craziest thing. That's what I say. I don't know what these men have did. You have did it wrong. You got to tear down this whole system. Whole is just raggedy. Just it ain't. It don't make sense. Okay. All the states making it a crime. Can't sleep in your cars or benches, no parks, etc. I love your lady. You're awesome. Thank you. It don't make no sense. They just, and then have nerve to tell people that's able to survive and sleep outside. That's what they told our ancestors. They still call them people like that. You're primitive. You can no, they're not primitive. They're advanced civilization that know how to sleep outside and they respect Mother Nature. Stop calling them people primitive and all this kind of stuff. No, they're advanced civilization. I bet you can't sleep outside like that. I bet you don't know where the food is. I bet you don't know where the medicine is out there. Stop calling them people primitive and all that kind of stuff. No, they're advanced civilization. They smarter than you. I bet you can't do what they do. They know where the medicine is. They know how to protect themselves. They know where the food is. They ain't gonna never run out of food, water, and all that good stuff and medicine because they know where it is. And guess what? They don't got a dime. They don't need a dime to do it. They ain't in no economic struggle or anything. Everything they need is right there. Can you say the same thing? You think your money can save you, but money you can't eat no money. You can't eat that stuff. That stuff you can't eat that. And that much stuff don't amount to a hill of beans when you starving. You can't drink no money. Okay? That stuff don't matter to a hill of beans. You don't care about no money when you ain't got no food, no water. You can have a bag full of money and be thirsty and hungry. You be looking all at that money. What can you do with it? I know that's right. Outside under the stars. Yeah, give back the natural rivers and medicine and plants. And they got us all caught up in it because they sell us a dream. You're gonna have this. This is the lifestyle you're gonna have. You're gonna have this nice bed and this. They sell us lifestyles. That's what they do. This is how they mess up our mind. You're gonna have this luxury car, and that stuff is not real, y'all. They have to sell you a dream. That's what America does. It sells you a dream. It loves selling you a dream. They got other cultures doing the same thing, selling you a dream. Like they lie to these other countries. You ought to hear that some of these African countries and some of these other countries, people from China, saying how America lied to them and telling them this they it's a dream over here. They're gonna have everything they want. Then when they get over there, it's nothing like that. These folks lie to them like that. They sell you a dream. That's why they got the American dream. They got to sell it to you. Okay? And then they had these celebrities telling you that the American dream is true and all this stuff, but they ain't gonna tell you all the regular stuff they had to do to keep that and all the lies and all this other crap that go with that mess. Okay, it's a headache in the head. Okay, don't fall for this stuff. They just leading us astray and selling you a dream. That stuff don't matter to a hill of beans. That stuff you ain't gonna worry about no big house and all that stuff, and if ain't no food and water in it, what do it matter? You got no food and water, you ain't got nothing to eat. That stuff matter. You ain't gonna care about no fancy car, none of that. You ain't got no food or no clean water. What does that matter? Don't matter. It's a loot, and people fall for that, and they try to get you up in there. Even got our children there. I got the Lamborghini. I got the Gucci bag. I got, just stupid stuff. Got this bag. Got that Gucci. Got this car. Got this stupid stuff that don't make no sense. Got our mind all messed up on stupid stuff. It don't matter to a hill of beans. I'm telling you, sit down and think about that. It don't mean nothing. It really don't. I let me they have to sell you a dream. They have to get you to want that. And they don't like people like me that they can't mess with my mind like that. Okay? They can't entrap you if you don't want nothing, you don't want nothing from them. Okay, when they first came to our ancestors over there in America, trying to get that land over there, they came over there telling our ancestors, hey, we're gonna buy this land, we're gonna give you a whole bunch of money, you can buy anything you want. He said, we already got everything we want. So what you mean money? We got everything here. We got food, we got water, we got everything here. We don't know nothing about no money. We don't care about no money. We got everything we need right here. What are you talking about with this money? See, they had to get our ancestors in believing that. That's what that movie Sinners was all about. But see, some of y'all missed it. Okay, you got distracted and got entertained. But that whole show was about them and capitalism. Okay, I can go even deeper with that, but that's what that's about. And then order people got to get out of that capitalism. And then they get mad at it. Notice they don't want you. I'm gonna tell you their biggest threat, America's biggest threat is an economic structure like China. Notice they always attack the communists because the communists do not let corporations take over the citizens. They have to actually take care of their citizens with that type of structure. And that's what America don't want. So they got to make China look bad because China has eliminated poverty in their country. And they don't want you to find out about that. Okay? If you find out that other countries is doing it, and this place is calling themselves the greatest country in America, the richest country in the world, why is you falling behind like this? Stop saying you the best country in the world and you steady doing regular stuff and these people 20, 30 years ahead of us. And we got people sleeping on the ground, going hungry and all this kind of stuff. And you steady beating your chest talking about you the richest country in the world. You better not. And if you still that, just me. Couldn't be me. If that was my husband, I'm just looking around. You said we got the best thing in the world, and yet this person doing better than us, and we still falling behind. Now you gonna get that right together right now. You gonna stop saying that, and you gonna be that, and stop telling these lies. I'm gonna hold you to the fire because that's what you're gonna do. Okay? And see, we need to hold them to the fire and stop running down there voting. That you want to get somebody's attention. You want to get their attention. Stop running down there voting and start doing your own stuff. That would scare the hell out of them. Start doing your own stuff, having your own election and stuff like that. You want to get their attention. They always got their attention every time when we start doing our own stuff. That means they not governing your mind no more. You're no longer they're no longer you the went renegade. They can't tell you what to do no more. You know already made up your mind. That scares them because you're no longer listening to them. You're doing what you want to do. They got to get you to conform. If you're not longer conforming, you coming up with your own stuff. You're coming up with your own governance, and they don't want that. Stop going out there. You want to get you want to get their attention. That's always scared them. Shut it down. Don't go down there and vote. Don't say nothing. Get together and already govern yourself. You can't listen to them. That's how you got to do a narcissist. You're dealing with a narcissistic government. So what do you have to do? You have to, again, you have to block him out. You have to go no contact. You can't listen to anything they're saying. You got to ignore them, gray rock them, everything. You can't give them no emotional response. That's what you're dealing with. But y'all ain't ready to go that far because you're too dependent on them. Okay. And then you also see too who in on the scam, because when they see you not participating in it, what they gonna do? They gonna get them celebrities to start talking. That's how you know them the ones that sold out. Because they'll probably start putting the celebrities on TV trying to get you to vote and all this kind of stuff. People in your community. That's how you can tell who sold out. Because they'll be using those people. Yep, Mariah. They'll be using those people to get you engaged back into the program. But you have to disconnect from the program. What is the program? The program is that voting system, the economic structure. You have to disconnect from the program. That's the matrix. That is their matrix. That is their false matrix. But you're not going to do it. Y'all not doing it fast enough and doing it collectively where it can have a bigger impact. But you can really have a bigger impact if you start again, not don't go back in that vote system anymore. Don't even go up there, because they're harnessing your energy with that, and they're looking at how much control they still have over your mind with that, because they're going to choose who they want to choose. But if you refuse to engage in that, they can't harness energy. Number one. Number two, they know you thinking for yourself, so they have no more control over your mind. And that's what needs to happen. And that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of that of happen. They're afraid that might happen. Okay. That's just my take on it. Like I said, I'm not gonna be talking, enough of the political crap, because we don't need no political crap talking about the Democrats ain't did their ain't none of y'all did what y'all supposed to do. Ain't none of y'all did what y'all all y'all the you two faces of the same coin. So I don't want to hear it. All y'all without an excuse, because you got people's lives in your hand and you instead of pointing at each other. I don't want to hear that. That's just like one crackhead. No, he stole the crack. No, he stole the crack. Both of y'all smoked the crack. Y'all know how they go. Y'all know it. That's y'all doing. Both of y'all done spent up the money. Both of y'all up there regular. So stop pointing at each other. Cause both of y'all guilty. None of y'all have done what we needed. So let's just stop playing here. Okay. So you gotta you need a whole different system. You can see it's got the gut that went out, and the people have to build it. They can't build it. It's gonna be the system that needs to be in there need to be built by the people, not them. That's the problem. Okay. Preferably, women probably need to be leading on this, and really need some men protecting on this. But women need to set that up, not men. Because when women set up things, we set up things that benefit the family as a whole. Because we run houses. I don't know why men think they can run countries and stuff, and you don't even run a house. So why would you think you can run a country? Why would you think that? You don't even raise children. You have no connection with your children. So what makes you think you can run a country? It just doesn't make sense to me. No man, if you're not raising children and you're not having children, why would you be running a country? It doesn't make sense. Okay. It's just me could not get anyone to join. Better alone. Okay. They've been blocking for a long time. So that Democrat Republican, it's just the same thing. They could just stop. They make me so sick with it. I said, why y'all keep playing with people like that? Y'all doing the same thing. Both of y'all doing raggedy stuff. Y'all ain't never cared about these people. They had Democrats and Republicans when our ancestors was going through that stuff. What changed for our ancestors? But y'all trying to get us to play this game with y'all so we won't be independent. Because if we weren't playing the game, we was gonna be independent. That kept us distracted from doing what we're supposed to be doing. And that's what needs to happen. Stop playing that game. You're not gonna win playing somebody else's game. Why would you think that? You're not gonna win. They got it rigged like that. You will never win playing the way their game. You gotta come up with your own game and make their ass play. That's how you flip the script. That's what our ancestors did. You better flip the script and make them play your game. You got the power to make them play your game. Stop playing that game. You can do it. Just think. You ain't got to raise a finger if you don't want to. You just got to do something different. Start thinking differently. That flips the script on them and piss them off. And they forced to play your game. You ain't got to march. They don't march. Need to be happening. Change minds. Doing something different needs to happen. Stop going up there voting. Start working together. Start growing your own food. Be independent. Govern yourself. Our ancestors already had they already had that together. Okay. Go back and look at that, how you think they was organizing the Black Panther and come up with their own movements and stuff like that. They did it. You can too. You got that same structure in you. They didn't like that. Oh my gosh, these people govern themselves better than us. We gotta get here and get rid of. They just too righteous. They showing up and showing out. They showing how we should be. Let's get away from. Let's get them out of there. And then years later, they come up with the same program that our ancestors started, the WIC program, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Flip the script, change your mind. I promise. But if you don't do it, and some people they love the program and they're gonna stay in it. Okay, we have some folks, some house folks like that, them house folks. Okay, them house coons, they love the programming. So a lot of them they want you to stay in it. You're gonna have them too. They actually want people to march in the streets so they can round them up. Yep. Okay. You're gonna have to think. You got to change the script. You got to think. Your mind got to be strong to deal with these kind of energies. You know what I'm saying? You can't get enough for you. Got to flip the script. I always find it's always another. It's always more than one way to skin a cat. But it's gonna take some strategic thinking and strong minds to do it. You can't be wanting to conform and do what everybody else do. No changes have come about that way. Your ancestors, somebody, we had to do stuff different to see changes. It takes a revolutionary mind. You cannot be a conformist and want to see change. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to be ready to stand alone and the people not like you. If you don't want that, you don't like people not liking you, and you ain't going to be, you know what I'm saying? If you spiritual, you already know this. You don't give a damn about nobody liking you. You're going to stand strong in your authenticity, and you're going to be who you're going to be, and you're going to stay a sovereign being. That's what needs to happen. If you spiritual, you already know you ain't no conformist because you ain't getting down like that. Okay? You got to be like that with these people. Because, see, they've been doing this so long and running this same script. And they weakness is they keep running the same script, and they don't think we're going to wake up. That's their weakness. Your strength is the element of surprise, is waking up and then shifting and doing something else. That's your strength, the element of surprise. Their weakness is to keep on running the same thing. Your plan don't work if people don't conform. Hey, Black Magic Mike. I ain't even see him in here. Did he say hello? I ain't even see him in here. Hey, Black Magic Mike. Okay, so that's what needs to happen, you guys. I'm sorry I had to answer like that. You probably don't want to ask me questions like that because you're probably not gonna like my answer. Okay, I'm not a conformist by any means. I don't believe that it's gonna be love and light to free our consciousness or give us liberation. We're gonna have to take it by stop conforming and be ready, to defend ourselves if people want to put their hands on us. Okay, it's just my take on that. You can take that or leave that. I know that's not a popular topic. That's not a popular response, but hey, that's the one I got, and I got to keep it real. And he did. Okay, I didn't see him. I don't know why I didn't see him. I'm looking for his comment. Did I skip him? I don't see him in here. Is he on another name? I sure not seeing his name. I'm going all the way up, and I don't see his name. I'm looking, Black Magic Mike. I seen Time Stepping Army. I don't see Black Magic Mike. Oh, here he is at the top. Yes, I do. Yeah, we need to unchain Django. Yeah, I see him up there at the top. Okay. Okay, so that's what I think, you guys. Or you know, you could take that. You could take that and do what you want with it, but that's what's going to take, and that's what hoodoo is all about. We had to do something revolutionary, and when we start doing something revolutionary, what happened? I can't pick up any book or any Wiccan book or anything like that without somebody mentioning hoodoo and conjure. Okay, same thing. You had such a significant impact. Your ancestors had such a significant impact with their magic, with their faith, with their medicine. Even North America had to put them in magic. You can't have any North American magic without hoodoo and conjure because it's in there. Okay. Oh, thank you, Raquel. It's not by choice. Okay. Uh, so when we look, that's why we go through all these books and they'll break it all down for you. So you'll see that somebody was like, "Is their magic more powerful than ours?" Somebody asked me that the other day. I was like, "No, don't you ever think that? No, okay. Their magic, no, nobody's magic is more powerful than your ancestors' magic. It's just not. Okay, I don't think that. Everybody got their own magic. It works, but nobody's magic is better than the other. Okay. I think with ours, because it's so primitive and raw, it is raw. It's more primitive and what am I trying to say? Not primitive, primordial, more primordial raw energy, more dark energy. It is more intense, okay, because of it ancestral. So again, if we're looking at going back to the angels again, I'm gonna close out because y'all got me on a soapbox talking about this. We kind of think and feel the same way on this subject. I'm sure a lot of us do. You know, I connect more with those ancestral spirits that were warriors, such as like John Horse, um, the ancestor spirits like Malcolm X, Asada Shakur, Fred Hampton, uh, the revolutionaries that dare to think different, wasn't afraid to do something different. They didn't care what anyone said. They were just not conformists. And they wasn't scared to stand up. They don't care how many people they were uh, to stand up against. They were willing to use their voice and speak up. So those are the ancestors I feel like I embody. I've seen myself do that a lot of times in my life. I've been the only one speaking up. It really be piss you off too, because what people will allow without saying things. And I have been in a room where it been some stuff going on, and I've had to say, "Hey, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that." And then other people behind me, they be like, "Yeah, yeah, she right. We ain't doing that." I'm like, "Wait, y'all's gonna let them do that if I wouldn't have said nothing? Then y'all gonna piss me off. What if I wasn't here? You was gonna let them do that? But now that I said something, now you with it." But my thing is, we need to be talking more. Don't get behind me and start saying something, because you knew that was foul before they even started. You knew that wasn't right for us. But y'all was finna go along with that. Tell these folks right out the get go, we ain't having that, period. You gonna do it this way or you going on with that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been that type, and I've had people to tell me, "You gonna get in trouble, you gonna get in trouble." And I've always been the type, I don't give a damn about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Cause that ain't right. Period. That ain't right. Period. Do folks like that. You know what I'm saying? So now we ain't gonna do us. You ain't gonna do us like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, then things will change. When they see I say something, they see it as possible that person know that ain't right. They see some shifting going on. You know, they be like, "Oh, Penelope, we glad you said this and that." My thing is, man, why I have to say it because y'all knew it was wrong before they said it. My thing is, how many times y'all letting people get away with stuff? A closed mouth don't be fed. If you don't say you hungry, have somebody know. Let these folks know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been scared. My thing is too, I say what I want to say because you ain't gonna give me no whooping. I don't give a damn what you is. You ain't gonna put your hands on me. I say what I want to say. Respectfully say. Yeah, I'm too old to get no whooping. You ain't gonna put your hands on me. I'm a grown ass woman. You may not like what I say. I may not like what you say. We can agree to disagree. Okay? But I have a right to voice my opinion or how I feel respectfully. Okay? Them days over with. Okay? You ain't gonna reach back nothing on me. Okay, so you have to be like that with these people because they and I dealt with that on my last job. I remember the last job I worked on. Those women were so afraid of our supervisors and stuff like that. But like I told them, I said this thing don't function without us. We run this. They got y'all scared, but we run this. We need to be telling these folks what to do because this stuff don't flow unless we hear. You know, and a lot of them folks on that job was telling me you gonna get fired. I said I wish they would. I wish they would because I'm going right on unemployment. They're gonna pay me either way it go. If I'm here, if I'm not here, I'm good damn. God put me here. When God ready for me to go, then I go. Never got fired. Okay. My coworker said, "Why they won't fire you?" I said, "I don't know why. I don't know why they won't fire me. I would fire me because my mouth fly. I'm respectful, but I would fly. I wasn't no yes sir master person. I ain't had that in me. Okay. I don't got that in me. I got some Malcolm X in me, some Nat Turner kind of in me. That's what I got in me. Okay. I got a lot of Nat Turner. If you was to look at me, you hear me talk, you're gonna hear some Nat Turner and some Malcolm X kind of come out of me. Okay. Ninja, don't get that to disagree respectfully. They want to argue then put their hands on you, shake my head. I ain't having none of that. Okay. So I respectfully disagree with it. A lot of people on my job, they didn't fire me on that job, but everything the ancestors, the spirit was leading me. Everything I said on that job came to pass. It tripped people out. Everything I said about it, because they raggedy, they ain't healing people. They raggedy folks, and they taking advantage of people, and it ain't right. I can't see the great spirit keeping this place up here. They're gonna shut this place down. That place shut down till that whole company shut down. Okay, that's what happened when you don't do folks right. And they was doing them folks bad. They was oppressing folks on their job. So you got these jobs too. You got to be careful because you got to ask what kind of spirits be on these jobs. Because some of these people on these jobs be crazy. It's something deeper at work there. Because some of these jobs be crazy, you guys. Okay, some of these people on these jobs be crazy. And that show what was going on. You get a lot of crazy spirits, especially if you work at the hospital. Ain't no telling what type of spirit's gonna be jumping out of people. They run rapid up there. A lot of people with sick minds and stuff up there. So you want to be careful if you're working at them hospitals. Make sure you protecting yourself. Okay. Okay, I'm off my soapbox of that. Wasn't trying to upset you guys, but that's just how my mind think. It's just totally different from other people. I don't believe in it. I don't believe that. I think everybody's a sovereign man. We got every right to talk up for ourselves and speak for ourselves. Okay. I don't believe everybody have to conform to be happy. I don't believe that. Everybody is an individual. Okay. So I'm gonna close out here. I kept you guys for a while here. Raquel asked that question and it just went the other way around. I'm gonna close it out here. But again, angels are very real. And you're gonna get your guidebook. You should have got it yesterday. or today. Yeah, you got it today. So you're going to get a guidebook that's going to be talking about angels and working with them with the elementals and how they connect with the elementals. We've already covered elemental spirits, water spirits, fire spirits. We're going to go into fire spirits a little bit more. And I've been trying my best to find more information on elemental spirits, such as sylphs and gnomes and fire spirits. Many thanks. You're welcome. Um, the only one I was able to find is the one on Jinn. And so I'm gonna have to be very strategic on how I come here and talk about Jinn. And you guys are going to be getting that book soon. And there seems to be a lot of information out there about Jinn. But that's such a wide scope. I just think fire spirits are falling in that category, uh, you know, of that, because when we start looking at Jinn, it just goes out into so many other things. So, but we're going to talk about that later. But angels are real. These energies will, they will interact with you by inspiration, creative ideas, uh, healing, mastering different parts of yourself, shifting your mood. If you are dealing with bipolar, things like that, depression, work with angels. Keep taking your medicine, keep seeing your therapist, but do this, and I promise it'll probably accelerate your healing. You'll probably have less of those symptoms, mental symptoms that you're having. Add this to it. I don't want you to stop going to your doctor or anything like that. I want you to keep this up and watch and see the difference that you see. And I'm telling you, this they saved my life, you guys, because I was in a depression. Um, just could not, shift that mood. And when I started working with angels, I started to see my mood shift. I started to see my thoughts clear up a lot. I didn't have many negative thoughts anymore. Um, not as many. I was able to shift more better and look at the positive side of things. And it really started helping me regulate my emotions, my nervous system. So again, work, and I always recommend when you get over there and start doing this work, if you've been doing ancestors work, I automatically get you to start working with angels, because I know there's a lot of elevation work that needs to happen, a lot of healing work needs to happen, and you need that extra help to help you go into those higher vibrations. So we instantly give you all the information you need about working with angels, and we're going into path working too. We're going to be talking about path working, doing creative visualization and going in talking to your angels that way. Want to get you again, that path working is where it's at. A lot of people miss that, but that path working is important. Okay, so to get you going into creative visualization, doing guided meditations and going in, communicating with these angels, relaxing your body so you can be able to feel the energy, because a lot of these spirits are, you're going to be able to, you need to be able to feel the energy too. Does it feel soft? Does it feel strong? Does it feel hot? Does it feel cool? Does it feel relaxed? All of them have different energy. Yep, we have our meeting tomorrow. Yep, we sure do. All of them have uh different energy signatures. Okay, so the energy feel different. Like you have some ancestors, you will feel like, okay, these ancestors feel like, and you won't always see your ancestors, but you might feel spirits. That's important, because if your emotions and your mood is not together, your sensory is not going to be good. And the thing is getting your sensory operating, at its highest, capacity as possible. Interesting. They save you too. They saved me as well. I'm new here. Where you been, Miss Penny? I've been here, baby. I'm living in Thailand right now. Okay. But again, you will feel a shift in it. And these are subtle energies. I know you thinking you done watch TV in Hollywood and you think an angel gonna come out with wings and all this stuff and bust through the door like Superman. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Hollywood done messed us up. Hollywood has messed us up. That's not gonna happen. It's gonna be subtle bitty, little bitty changes. So pay attention to your mood and your thinking pattern. it should start shifting and more high vibrational energy should start coming in. And they love working with you with magic. They will even start teaching you. If you're working with them on something and you're trying to manifest something, they will even start showing you shortcuts on how to work with them. You might start working with one archangel, and he said, "Hey, I can teach you this too. I don't just do this." I had another person over there that was working with an angel. She said, "I didn't know he helped you with this either. He helped me with this too, Miss Penny. He told me he could help me with this too." I said, "Well, do it then." And she wrote down the whole little thing. He gave her a whole little thing on how to contact him more easily, and she shared it over there to the group. Okay. You start coming in contact, you'll start getting more information that some people don't know that they'll tell you. Okay. And they love that. They love when you share how they work with you with other people because they want more people to access them. Not enough people is working with them. Does your ears rings? Yep. Yep. I was just about to come in there. Yep. The pressure will change. Yes. 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 Seekers of no. That's the sign of them. Okay. Sometimes you'll see your the energy is shift in the room. Let me go back up here to these symptoms up here. When you know they're in the room, okay, you'll see a pressure will change in the room, a shift in air pressure, ringing of the ears, a sudden or cool, a knowing. You'll get that too. Sometimes they will put information in your head. You just know. You don't know how you know. You just know. Okay, that'll happen as well. Flashes of insight. You know how you just get a good idea to come out of nowhere? You be like, oh, it just come in your head. That's them. Okay? That's them. Okay, now that you know it's them, I will be calling them more, asking them more to help me in my life. Okay? I don't know if you already been doing it or that's probably how they've been showing up and you don't recognize them. Again, they'll come in the dreams and symbols. You can also too. They sometimes you can they'll start talking through people or through the radio. Okay, they'll talk through the radio too, like your ancestors do. That they'll do like the ancestors too. And sometimes they'll talk through certain numbers. Okay, 111, 222, 333, 444. Sometimes they'll talk through numbers too. Okay, but again, if you want a more personal relationship with them, I would say, again, because you have our ancestors doing this, set up your table to one of them, particularly the archangel over your zodiac, because it's going to be easy because you already have that angelic signature. You already have that frequency. So now all we got to do is make contact. And the thing with this is not going to be overnight. It's not going to be overnight. This is about consistency. You have to be consistency. You're going to have to take out an hour out of your day to go to that altar. You have to, beloved. You just got to. This how these spirit. This how they don't care about your money. They care about your time. They look at integrity. They look at intentions. They look at your character. That's what this is about. So they don't care nothing about your money. They don't care. They want your time. Okay? So you have to be consistent. I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, if you are consistent with it, because I'm gonna ask you, if you come to me, and I know when you done had a experience, because you're gonna get over there in my chat, you're gonna email me. I know you is. You always do. Because you're shocked when it happened. And so you want somebody to talk to. Want somebody to talk to because it's blowing your damn mind. And then you're gonna reach out to me. And you're gonna say, Miss Penny, blase, blase, blase. I know it happened. You're gonna be wanting me to go against you. And I'm not. I'm not gonna go against you. I'm not gonna tell you that ain't happened. I'm gonna tell you it happened. Keep doing it. I'm gonna tell you to keep going. What you trying to do? Okay, keep going. Okay. If what they was trying to say, I'm gonna have you do a divination. Go look at T, see what they was trying to tell you. Okay. I know when it's gonna happen because you're gonna reach out. I know you're gonna have an experience. And you're gonna want to talk to somebody. I already know. I've had people in my box right now in my message telling me stuff. And then when I confirm what happened, they said, "You knew that's gonna happen." Yes, I knew it was gonna happen. I told you it's gonna happen. I do not doubt this. Okay, so I promise you, you're consistent on there. You're gonna see see more contact with your ancestors. You're gonna see more contact with your angels. That's the initiation process. That's the initiation. The initiation has started. This might go on for as you begin to refine your psychic abilities and master yourself. This might go on for about, sometime it can go on up to about 5 years until you ready to say, hey, I'm ready to work with other spirits now. I want to conjure. Your ancestors might lead you somewhere to work with another spirit. I don't know, but this goes on for a while. Okay, suppose that's the initiation process. So you're gonna learn so much about yourself and develop so much about yourself during that time, and that's what we need to happen. Okay. Let me close on out here. I've kept you guys such a little while here. Raquel had me talking. Okay. So again, the angels, what you think of as angels, these are older concepts. Western civilization just got their hands on it and start interpreting it through the eyes of their religion. But these angels are so much older than that. And the way our ancestors understood them, they were sky people, they were star people, and some of them were ancestors as well. If you get that book, I just recommend it because she talked a little bit about that. It tripped me out. I don't think I would have been so comfortable with ancestor veneration if I didn't have this book. And like I said, the name of this book is Angels, Companions in Magic by Sybil Raven Wolf. I think she did an excellent job of breaking it down to get you comfortable with working with angels, what they like, what they don't like, what zodiac signs work good with different angels. She's giving you the angel hours, the angels over every planet, the angels of the zodiac. Just so much good helpful information in that book, especially if you're interested in magic and doing work like that with angels. There is such a good resource, and if you're in our community, I've put that in there. So make sure you're going through all the posts and you're accessing the links because you have that book. Am I still here? I'm back in the chat listening only. Okay. Okay, Raquel, I see you, girl. Okay, okay. So we just covered that book extensively. I wanted to come here because I've had never talked about that book like that. Okay, I never did a really broke down angels like that, and then too talked about this resource that you're getting with this book. Because the book, you have to know when to contact these angels because they have their different hours. Okay, so that book have that in there. Now, if you're looking for, I think she might have, and I think it has the thing of the rosary. I think the rosary is in that book as well. So if you're interested in working with the the mysteries of the rosary, it's in that book as well. She got a lot of helpful stuff in that book. I just love that book. Okay, so you probably want to look at that as well. What else? And they will look any kind of way you want to perceive them. Okay? They just look different. They can take on any human form, but most times you're going to see them as energy. You're not going to see them more like have they have personified them. You might just like see energy, like, or just feel energy. Okay? They really, for me, in my experience, I've never seen them take on a human form unless you're in distress. They'll either start moving somebody or just take on a whole human form. Can't wait to read it. Okay. They'll take on a human form, but they're very real. And it don't matter what, you know, and the thing too is when we're contacting these different, we're building our ancestral practice and we're contacting these archangels, we're also building our spiritual court, making our spiritual court stronger. You get a chance to see how many spirits are in your spiritual court and start conversating with them more. Okay. But we definitely want them in our corner They're going to be helping us to evolve. They're going to be teaching. You got a lot of them that'll teach you magic, that'll teach you how to move your magic right along. That's what they're there for. Okay. And some of them will help you in certain magic. Okay, but they will not, because this is root work. This is more. This is again, we're dealing with elevated, loving spirits. You can't be doing nothing raggedy with these. They're just not gonna let you. Okay, occultists have tried and have backfired on them. And you can't use these energy in a way that's malicious or nefarious, or they just won't let you do it. This is about self mastery. This is about healing. This is about becoming a better you. And usually these energies, they have no problem with helping you do that. Okay? Protecting you, guiding you, helping you be your best self. That's usually what these energies are going to do. Now, other than conjure. Now, when you get over there to conjure, because I'm keeping you on the root work side, there is a difference between root work and conjure. And I know a lot of things about root work look like conjure because we work with herbs and we're using the more elemental magic over there in root work. Root work is more elemental magic. Okay, it's more elemental. You're dealing more with elemental spirits, saints, natural magic, things of that such. Now, when you get over there to conjure, you know, you the big dog now. Now you saying you ready to do some real, uh, intense, high advanced necromancy, especially when 'cause you're doing sorcery. You're conjuring over there. That's conjure. You work with nothing spirits, and you got some people that's just good working with spirits. That's what I need the most right now, protecting guidance and being my best self. That's what the ritual membership does. Okay, if you just focus on that. Now, if you saying, Miss Penny, I don't know nothing about nothing, but I want to know everything, but I don't know nothing. I need to heal. I need to do all this. I need to do all that. Then you probably want to go to our Know Thyself membership where we do the shadow work and you get everything. Okay, and all of this is at your own pace. And for those of you that you have reached out to me and you were having problems with your membership or something, I think somebody was having problem with Patreon trying to get in there. I have submitted a ticket to Patreon to get you all settled away. I've also emailed you and given you the recent updates that was provided to me by Patreon. Okay, so I try to keep you guys in the loop. And I'm so sorry y'all having them problems. That ticked me off because I'm like, my folks shouldn't be having no problems. I don't like when you start having problems because it makes me upset because I say they shouldn't be having no problems here. Why are they having problems? Okay, can the angels take over animals? Like if your animal starts acting different, then stops. Yeah, because the angel, you got to remember that these animals can see things that you can't see. And so they can be communicating with your angel. Who's they said? I think it's Ariel. I think it's Archangel Ariel that's over the animals. That's like the guardian over the animals. But yeah, they can influence animals as well. And you'll see some of your animals, especially cats, any Wiccan in here, a winning woman that practice magic and she's a witch. A lot of them will tell you as soon as they get to their altar, their cat go there with them because their cat is helping them in the magic. Sometimes your dog or cat will go to that altar with you. You don't see it, but they helping you and protecting you in your magic. You got some people, animals, as soon as they go to their altar and start working magic, they cat and dog right there with them. That's your familiar. That's your that's your magical partner. Okay. You got some people, cats and stuff, jump on their altar. Okay, so when you see them doing it, they're supposed to be there with you. Don't stop them. Let them come there with you. Okay, they're helping you. So if you see your animal, and if you put if you put an offering up there and they eat it, don't get mad at them. Okay, the spirit took it. Okay, don't get mad at the kids and the animals when they eat the offering. It just means that the spirit took the offering. Don't get mad at them. They were supposed to eat that. That's how the spirit consumed it, either through the child or other animal. It happens. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. Okay, so when you see your animals and everything start going to that altar with you, that's an indication that they're supposed to be there with you, working with you. You may not can identify what they're doing, but if you go there long enough, you'll be able to start observing what they're doing. And some of them, they just automatically go there with you. I've seen people, witches, talk about that a lot. I've heard some other practitioners talk about their animals go to the altar with automatically. They get excited. They like going to the altar too. Let them do it. They're supposed to do it. Okay. Uh, and again, I got the because you're gonna get this book, and you'll see this in occult books. And I'm gonna close out. We do not demand. We do not command spirits to come to us. We do not do that way. That is the Western way of trying to control a spirit. We do not do that here. When we set up tables, we invite, we attract, and we develop relationships. We let the relationships unfold. We do not demand or command a spirit. Okay, we invite them, we fellowship with them, we are trying to become friends with them. It is totally different than Western, and this, I think that's what get the Western civilizations, Western occultists messed up because they trying to control the spirit, and you see that sometimes that don't turn out right for them. Okay, I believe this innately. I always have respect. It's very important. So make again, just set up your table, be consistent, petition them, call them, set out things they like. Be consistent with that, and then let the relationship unfold. They will show themselves to you. Okay, if they don't, just go on and try another angel or try another spirit to work with. Okay, but we don't command. And I think that's what get them in trouble. Sometimes that spirit don't even want to come there, but you demand that spirit to come there, and then all hell break loose. You hear that happening with them when they be trying to do stuff like that. Okay. Anyone have any questions for me before I end this live stream? Yeah, I got a lot out of me today. You really did. Raquel, really, Raquel got me today. She got me to get going into things. Okay. Okay. So I'm always here. If you're looking for an astro reading, we have those too. Those are $15. People have seen it have resonated with several people, and I'm glad it's resonated with you and that you're getting in alignment with your chart. I've had what 2 or 3 people say, "Hey, yeah, I'm doing this stuff." You might find that you're already doing some of the stuff. Sometimes it might be a confirmation for you. Okay. But if that's something that you're interested in, DM me. Uh, you might find yourself, well, hey, Miss Penny, I got this chart, but it makes sense, but I'm stuck. I'm stuck somewhere here. You might find yourself stuck if you got some retrogrades going on, depending on what's in your Chiron. You might be stuck somewhere in your chart. You might be stuck. You probably having a hard time to shift. If that's going on, then you probably want to get a tarot reading. Maybe you know that you're stuck somewhere in your chart. You don't need a astro reading. You need a tarot reading to get you to shift and get out of there, so you can get back in alignment. Because that happens. You can get stuck some places and can't shift. Okay, and you might need someone to help you mentally shift. And I've seen it and I've done it, and I've helped people shift, and they be like, "Oh my God, I didn't see it that way at all, Miss Penny. Oh my God, I'm looking at this, it's all, and it's such a different perspective now." Yeah, because you needed someone to get you that little nudge. You were recycling the same thing, the same type of stuff. So you needed someone to come in and give you some medicine and help your mind shift so you can look at that differently. And that happens. That's why you go see a therapist. That's why you see a counselor. That's why you go see a life coach. I'm kind of all those things when you come to me. And so that might happen. So if that's you, just book a tarot reading. We can get you out of it. You just need a medicine to help you shift and look at things from a different perspective. That's what this about too. This is all about consciousness. So we can't access higher medicine when we're steady recycling old beliefs and old thoughts. No one has given us a different perspective to look at it so we can get the medicine and shift. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to y'all. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for engaging. I hope this live stream was helpful to you guys. And let me know how that goes in our community with you working with angels. If you've had any experiences, because I love to hear your experiences, because they work with each of you differently. You know, everyone has a different experience and they teach you all different things. So I would love to know how that works for you. I love when you share your stories and your experiences so you can see it for yourself. I love for you to see it for yourself and then you share it with me. Yeah, I like to see when your sock they knock your socks off. You see it for yourself. So please share your experience with me. You are not bothering me. I don't care. I want to know. Okay? I love you guys. You guys take care.